Road as Peterborough take on Sheffield Wednesday in the League One playoffs. But we're getting ready for kick-off here at the Den, and what a venue this is in South East London, just half a mile or so from where the old Den was. If you ever visited that, which I did as an away fan, it's the only time I've been delighted that my team got absolutely battered, because I got out of the ground okay. That was proper old school, but this has the capacity, this new stadium, relatively new stadium, has the capacity to intimidate opponents as well, which you're about to hear, because every single Millwall seat in this stadium has been sold. There's a healthy contingent from Blackburn that have travelled down, despite the fact it's going to be hard for them to get themselves into the top six and the playoff place, and they've fallen away in terms of their form in recent weeks as well, been struggling for goals too. But Millwall will be favourites here this afternoon to hold on to a playoff place and make it into that end of season lottery. And you can see examples of South East London when you look into the corners, the vacant corners behind the big screen. Away to my left, a train rolls by on the way to London Bridge or Charing Cross. There's a block of flats behind it as well. The corner away to my right, industrial. That's the picture. You've got smoke billowing out of a chimney on a unit behind the Coal Blow Lane end. Away to my right, opposite, you've got the top of Canary Wharf just poking out and flashing right at the top of the point. Top of the Dockers stand. It is an amazing stadium, an amazing area of London as well. It's got real character in every sense of the word. But there's 3 points that are needed here for Millwall, and that will send the fans home happy and confident as they go in to the playoffs. But all to play for as the two teams make their way out onto the dance floor. Millwall and Blackburn, regular championship season coming to a close today, but that won't be the end of the drama. We've got the playoffs to come, all of the games live on the Talksport network. Championship, 5 teams, only 2 places left, and 3 of the 5 have got to go for the win. 1 of the 5, Coventry, currently 5th, are at Middlesbrough, and that's live right now on Talksport 2. 2 of the 5 meet here at the Den. It's Millwall against Blackburn, live on Talksport, with the former Watford, Wigan and Sunderland striker David Connolly, who's alongside your commentator on Talksport this afternoon, Jim Proudfoot.
Well, it's 33 years since Millwall last played in the top flight, and there haven't been too many near misses since. There were a couple of failed playoff campaigns in the aftermath of that relegation from the old First Division back in the early 90s, but this represents their best chance of engineering a first ever Premier League campaign. Win here and they'll be guaranteed a playoff place. A draw, they'll be nervously keeping abreast of events in Sunderland and West Brom's matches, but there's no luxury of a match against a team with nothing to play for. Blackburn are also eyeing up a top 6 finish and extending their season into the end of season circus. They need a win, and they need the Black Cats and the Baggies to fail. But Jon Dahl Tomasson's men do retain a chance coming into the final day, despite the fact they haven't won in their last 9 and are bottom of the championship form table over the last 8. How they've missed Sam Gallagher, who's suffering with a hamstring injury. There's been speculation that they might get some minutes out of him today, but it's not to be. And it's Ryan Hedges that plays up front. Millwall revert to a 4-2-3-1 formation, having gone with the back 3 at Blackpool last week. It's Long in goal, McNamara, Hutchinson, Cooper and Styles, Mitchell and Saville, Burke, Fleming and Watmore, and Bradshaw. For Blackburn, it's Pears in goal, Rankin, Costello, Carter, Hyam and Pickering, Travis and Adam Wharton, Thomas, Schmodix and Brewitt and Diaz, in what could be his last game for the club, and Hedges. The benches for the Lions: Evans, Malone, Bury, Shackleton, Bennett, Vogelsammer and Bielkowski. For Blackburn, Britton, Dolan, Ayala, Dack, Garrett, Leonard and Kaminski. And the referee is Craig Pawson, who's taking charge of only his 4th championship game this season. Before the game kicks off, Jay Britton will sing the national anthem to mark the coronation of King Charles III. Players from both teams just lining up around the centre circle. Blackburn in their red shirts and Millwall in dark blue with their white shorts. Jay Britton with the national anthem, a raucous rendition of it from the vast majority of the supporters here today. Blackburn haven't quite sold their allocation out the way to our left-hand side in the top tier of the away end, but everywhere else you can't see an empty seat. It's such an atmospheric footballing venue. But what will unfold here at the Den? The whole season comes down to this. This afternoon, the end of the road for someone. 2 playoff places, 5 teams. Who's going to make it? David Connolly, we're underway.
Yeah, it should be a great occasion. I mean, the atmosphere, as you'd expect, fantastic. Let's hope it's for a great game.
And it is Millwall kicking from right to left as we look at it. The first ball played for by McNamara, shepherded over the line and out of play. And it is set up beautifully because Millwall know that they have to win, really. They've got to expect that somebody else will win, so they know that they themselves need to win. A draw, they might get away with it, but if they lose, they definitely won't make it.
You can't do that at the new Den, can you? You can't set up to maybe try and go through or get a draw. No, they're going to go for it, make no mistake.
There's a crunching challenge coming in, which has left Duncan Watmore down, holding the back of his head. He's back on his feet and rubbing it. That could be a key battle today. It's a free kick to Millwall here. But Watmore against Rankin Costello. The Blackburn Rovers marauding right back, converted into a right back. He's so good going forward, but if they turn over possession, Watmore might be able to exploit it.
Yeah, but also, Jim, more importantly, you can't keep giving fouls away like that. We're a minute in, they've given 1 away in our own half, Blackburn Rovers, and where's this going to go? Straight into your box. So, you know, Tony Mowbray will be saying to him, you can't be, John Dodd Thomas saying to his men, you just can't be doing that.
So in comes the free kick from Styles towards the edge of the penalty area. It's flicked on, doesn't quite break Bradshaw's way. Flick back towards the edge of the penalty area where a left-footed effort was beautifully struck by Ollie Burke. It's deflected away. And the Lions able to pick it up and still try and make ground inside the area. Great turn by Watmore, who comes back out. Can't find a way past the crunching challenge which comes in from Travis. And he goes out of play for a Millwall throw. And certainly Rovers have been able to do nothing to quieten the crowd in the early stages of this game. It's been all Millwall through the opening couple of minutes, but 0-0.
Yeah, and it just comes from that reckless challenge. You just can't do it. What they do have, I guess, Millwall, what they don't, is Ryan Leonard. Normally he'd be chucking this in the box. As it is, it's a little bit of a change. It looks like it's going to be Zion Fleming that's going to hurl it in, but normally Ryan Leonard will be the one to throw it in from here.
7 inside the 6-yard box. Fleming hurling it in towards the near post. Oh, it was just missed. It dropped down right on the edge of the 6-yard box. Millwall having runners coming in from late. Bradshaw just unable to get the touch to poke it goal bound. Really good start from Millwall. And Thomason's men know there was never any doubt that they were going to be in for a significant contest here, but they know the scale of it already in these early stages.
Yeah, absolutely. Doesn't matter who starts from, I guess. No, Leonard, then Fleming can throw it. He can hurl it. That reached the 6-yard. Went past the near post there. Great distance on the long throw.
Ainsley Pear's taken the goal kick from our left-hand side. And Sorba Thomas claiming that he was fouled, and the referee has given a free kick, which will be taken on the Blackburn Rovers right-hand side. Rankin Costello, and he's going to have the opportunity to try and play this in. Blackburn certainly not committing bodies forward. In fact, Sorba Thomas came to take it and work it back quickly for Carter inside his own half. Carter to Hyam, who's Blackburn's player of the season, and then play forward again towards the edge of the penalty area, jumping high in the midfield. Saville gets his head to it for Millwall, and eventually goes out of play for a throw, which will be taken on the Blackburn right, but nearer halfway. Rovers coming into this not just in the back of an 8-game winless streak in the league, 9 in all competitions. If you include the FA Cup quarter-final against Sheffield United, they've only scored 5 goals in their last 8 games. And the Lions in not great form, but none of the sides chasing 5th and 6th have been really, apart from Coventry. And as a consequence, they've only won 2 of the last 8, but I think it was absolutely crucial that they won the last one of those, a 3-2 victory at Blackpool, to get them back on track, and to mean that they've very much got the draw on their side in this particular fixture today. It might not be enough, but it could well be. Still waiting for the first goal in the Championship. Earlier today, Northampton won promotion from League Two after the heartache of last year. The playoffs will be Stockport, Salford and Carlisle against Bradford. Mansfield missed out by 1 goal. The ball is on the right-hand side for Blackburn. Throw taken quickly, swung through the midfield. Good ball by Hedges, out to Brereton Diaz. Turning back inside the Chilean international. Lay back for Pickering. Pickering to Hyam. Former Coventry man turning it forward. Adam Wharton just waiting for the ball to get there. And he was just clipped there by Fleming, and it's a free kick which is taken quickly.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're very aggressive, Millwall, trying to force the longer pass because, you know, with Jake Cooper and Hutchinson, they've got 2 players obviously brilliant in the air. Bit difficult for Silver Thomas and Hedges up there, but good start here from Millwall. And Blackburn Rovers just settling down somewhat. That was a lovely switch of play, wasn't it, from Hedges there. Worked off the training ground, throw in, and first time volley out the other side.
Noise ratchets up another couple of notches again. Carter looking for Rankin Costello. Travis came to meet it on the touchline. It bypassed him and goes out of play for a throw. It's a throw which Callum Stiles, the Hungarian international, will take. He's stolen 2 or 3 yards down the left-hand touchline. Referee Craig Pawson just asked him to retreat a little. And now he waits to launch it forward. Coventry and Millwall as things stand. The 2 sides that will make it through to the playoffs along with Luton and Middlesbrough, but I sense there are going to be plenty of twists and turns as the afternoon goes on. But 6 minutes gone here, Millwall on top. That one long throw from Fleming causing problems, but now the goalkeeper's had a save to make so far. Stiles with a throw. Watmore couldn't get there. Saville comes to meet it. Rankin Costello will clear. Brought down by McNamara in the centre circle for Millwall. Played out towards the right-hand touchline. Little give and go didn't quite come off. Billy Mitchell tried to work the ball back out towards the right for Ollie Burke. Blackburn win it back and work it back to their goalkeeper, Ainsley Pears.
Yeah, it was unlucky. It was just a set there from Ollie Burke. Was slightly behind Billy Mitchell. I mean, he's so quick, Ollie Burke. If they can get that ball in behind, he just needed a better set there, Billy Mitchell.
And Bradshaw's done really well. Wins the throw down by the corner flag. He came and caught Carter in possession. And then as Carter turned it forward, it hit Bradshaw, came back off Carter, and goes out of play for a long throw. The last one from Fleming caused real problems.
Yeah, and this is where you just wonder, have they not learned anything? Because there's no point bowling the ball out of Hayden Carter under immense pressure from Bradshaw. That is exactly what Millwall want, forcing it into the corner, trying to get something, you know, and this is almost as good as a corner, this throw, probably better.
So Fleming launching it in, not quite as much distance on this one, but it did take a near post flick, and it breaks, it's off the underside of the bar. Did it go in? Referee says yes! It's 1-0 Millwall, and it's Duncan Watmore that has got the goal that might cement their place in the Championship playoffs and end Blackburn Rovers season. It's taken barely 7 minutes. Long throw, flicked on at the near post. Watmore coming onto it on the edge of the 6-yard box. Slammed it off the underside of the crossbar. Bounced down, over the line and back out. But it went in. And Millwall lead Blackburn 1-0.
Yeah, what a strike from Duncan Watmore. I mean, the throw, as you say, fell a little bit short, but Millwall did really well to get the first contact. They kept it alive in the box, bounced around. What a fabulous finish on the sort of volley. Ball bounced in front of him, almost on the penalty spot, crashed down over the line, off the bar. Brilliant for Millwall, but you've got to say Blackburn. I mean, if they not watched Millwall of late, surely all the videos, all the tapes would tell you don't play the ball out the back, you don't give it to your centre halves who are in the corner, boxed in. You can't give throws away in and around the penalty area because, you know, they're going to just launch it in your area. And you've got to say Blackburn, they haven't started this game very well, certainly not from a defensive point of view. And they paid the price.
It's Duncan Watmore's first goal for the club here. The only one that he has scored since his move from Middlesbrough came at Queen's Park Rangers back in February. But it's his second against Blackburn this season because he scored against them for Middlesbrough back in the first half of the season. Now Saville will bring it forward here for the Lions. Certainly up for this. And they've won a free kick about 3 yards outside the penalty area, left of centre. The way this is going, it could all be over by half-time. Well,
I mean, one thing they're not afraid to do, Millwall, is take contact. We've seen a few challenges early doors. Mitchell, Saville, there's a bit of needle out there, which is what Millwall want. And Saville there, he kept hold of the ball. He knew that there was going to be a tackle coming, hoping for the free kick. That's what he's got. A little bit left of centre. Perfect for a right footer. Fleming over this will probably fancy it.
So as they stand right now, Millwall up to 5th, which would mean that they would play Middlesbrough, but a long way to go. It remains the only goal in the Championship final day so far. They've scored the first. Will they also be able to score the second? They have this opportunity from the free kick. Zian Fleming is the man standing over it. Fleming, the Dutchman, signed from Fortuna Sittard. 15 goals this season. He really has been a fantastic acquisition. His long throws have caused problems. What will his free kicks do? He addresses the ball. 2 steps, right footed. Curves it. Hits the post. And he's put it on the follow-up. And then 2 up in next to no time. What an extraordinary start this has been for Millwall. Oh no, it's been disallowed. It's been disallowed. Blackburn were trying to play on. Millwall was celebrating. They thought that it was 2-0. The flag came up on the far side. Blackburn, seeing that, took the free kick quickly. Millwall had 7 players celebrating, but Rovers were told, no, you can't take the free kick. The referee said he wasn't ready with the Millwall players celebrating, whereas Blackburn would have had a 9-on-3. A real controversial moment. Blackburn not happy that they weren't allowed to take the free kick. Millwall not happy because they don't think it was offside.
Well, the referee, you got to say the assistant referee took an awful long time to put his flag up. I mean, Bradshaw had wheeled away, was in the corner flag celebrating, and then the flag went up. So, brilliant free kick off the inside of the post, and there's Bradshaw following up like all good strikers should. Knocked it into the net. Really quick reactions, but very, very late flag.
Well, Derek Eaton, the assistant referee on the far touchline, was adamant that he got it right. And it remains 1-0 to Millwall, but they have hit the post as well as having that one disallowed. Blackburn bring it forward. It's flicked down towards the far touchline by Pickering. And they want back by McNamara, who will take it down towards the right-hand touchline and get it forward. And knocked away at the back by Hyam. Hyam to Carter. Blackburn just trying to get any kind of foothold in this game. It's been a struggle for them in these early stages. Now they'll play it forward out towards Harry Pickering, the left back. Brereton making a run ahead of him on the edge of the penalty area, easily knocked away by George Saville. McNamara looks long, and it will find its way through towards Bradshaw against the odds. He just anticipated that better than Wharton, and Millwall will bring it forward down the right with Burke. He can't find a way past Hyam, who did well. Good block challenge from him, and it'll be cleared. There's one Premier League game taking place this afternoon, and the deadlock's broken in that. Ollie Klink.
Fulham 1, Leicester City 0. Willian, a free kick on the left-hand side, which bounced through everyone, past Everson and into the back of the net. A blow for Leicester. They're behind early on. 10 minutes gone. Fulham 1, Leicester 0.
So Fulham leading there in the Premier League. Millwall leading here in the Championship. We'll go back round the grounds in a moment with Blackburn on the front foot, turning it down from Schmodix to the right-hand side of the penalty area. Cross comes in from Thomas, and it's cleared. Down towards Pickering, down towards the corner flag. He will turn and lay it back for Travis. Travis with an opportunity to try and get it in. He's failed to do that. Millwall will bring it away, and the deadlock's broken in Swansea. Lawrence Mora.
Swansea 0, West Brom 1. Okay, Yokoslu has got it, and it is awful defending by Swansea. They've given it away as they're trying to play out from inside their own penalty area, and they've been made to pay. Swansea 0, West Brom 1.
So that means that West Brom go up to 7th, above Sunderland, but only 7th. They would need Millwall or Coventry to lose. West Brom, if Coventry were to lose, would need a few more in terms of a margin of victory. But the Albion ahead and giving themselves a chance. Off to Middlesbrough in a moment, but Ollie Burke playing it inside the penalty area. And a sliding challenge from Carter can mop up for Blackburn. To find out what's been going on in the early stages of Coventry's match. Point good enough for them. They're at Middlesbrough. Graham Courtney.
Yeah, at the moment they're going to get it. It's Middlesbrough 0, Coventry 0. Actually, only one decent effort on goal came from Coventry in the opening minute. The Dutch midfielder Gustavo Hamer, rocket of a shot. Really good save by the Borough keeper though, Zach Steffen. The Borough, I'm afraid at the moment, just slightly under the cosh. It's Coventry on Talksport 2 of the Borough 0, Coventry 0.
And Sunderland in the mix as well. They must win and hope other results go their way. Steve Hoversall.
Jim, goalless at the moment. Preston 0, Sunderland 0, but really nervy start for the Sunderland fans. 3 brilliant chances for Preston, who've been on top. Try Hume made an awkward back pass. Cannon nearly got him. Moments later, Cannon yards away from tapping home, and Ali McCann's had a shot which deflected past the post as well. Preston 0, Sunderland 0.
Steve, thank you. It's Millwall leading Blackburn by a goal to 0 here. They've hit the post as well since then. Brereton making a run towards the edge of the penalty area for Blackburn. A low-driven ball inside the box from Sorba Thomas, who reached the playoffs last season with Huddersfield in the Championship, and ultimately ending up in defeat at Wembley. Thomas has it, playing it up the line and headed out of play by Callum Stiles for a throw which will be taken on the Blackburn right-hand side. Here's David Connolly.
Well, they've settled down a little bit, Blackburn. You know, they've played some good football, and at the minute Millwall just sitting in defending, and when they win it back, obviously they've got that pace of Ollie Burke on the counter. So far Hyam's defended pretty well against him though. He knows what's coming, but they have settled down and they're moving the ball pretty quickly, pretty sharp, Blackburn.
Plenty of other games taking place in the Championship as well that don't involve teams chasing the playoffs, including one at Carrow Road. Norwich only 1 win in 10, and it might end with only 1 win in 11. They're a goal down at under already relegated Blackpool, with Morgan Rogers on target at Carrow Road. Millwall doing well to win it back. Billy Mitchell has stuck his foot in, and now Watmore will be able to pick up the ball on the left-hand touchline. It was wrestled to the ground, and it's a free kick that the Lions will take about 4 yards inside their own half, a couple of yards in from the left-hand touchline.
Well, last time they gave one of these away, you know, they nearly conceded from it. So, as I said, any sort of free kick, I mean, the contrast in styles is clear from the restarts. You know, certainly a throw-in or a free kick, you know it's coming in the box. Blackburn got one, similar situation in Millwall's half, played it backwards and try and retain possession and blah, blah, blah. But Millwall very, very direct on these. You know it's coming in the box. Very high line from Rovers. They're about, 10, 12 yards, 15 yards maybe outside the box, just trying to keep Mill as far away from the goal as possible. Yeah,
line of 8 defending this ball. Blackburn, as Stiles whacks it inside the area. First touch from a Millwall player, guiding it down. It was cleared. It comes down for George Saville, who's in his 4th spell with Millwall. And a smart challenge coming in on him from Schmodix. No foul, and Saville thought there was. Throw taken quickly. Watmore curving in inside the penalty area. Oh, a header towards goal, goes just a fraction wide. Great ball in from Duncan Watmore on the left-hand touchline. It was well met by Fleming, 15 yards out, but wide of Pez's left-hand post. 17 gone, Millwall 1, Blackburn 0, and as things stand, it's Millwall and Coventry who'll make it through the playoffs.
Yeah, been very effective so far, haven't they, Millwall? You know, it's wide, it's coming in the box. Good ball in from Watmore. Unlucky there with the header from Fleming. There they go again, though, winning that ball. Any sort of ball that's just slightly behind someone and just inviting that press from Millwall.
Yeah, Blackburn trying to play out from the back, and no offside flag this time as the ball is whipped in by Burke and bowled out by Pez. Down towards Thomas, awkward control. He might wish that he hadn't, because he got a shoulder to it. That kept it in, but it was seized upon immediately, the loose ball by Callum Stiles. Watmore's got it again. Watmore back for Zian Fleming. Fleming to Saville. Saville down towards the left-hand touchline. Watmore trying to turn it round the corner, but it hit Carter. And Blackburn will be able to bring it away with Adam Wharton in the midfield. Wharton, the younger of the 2 brothers at Blackburn. Scott, his older brother, not involved today. A man who's got experience of winning playoff campaigns in the past. Blackburn just hoping to get to one their last playoff campaign back in 1992 when they beat Leicester to win promotion. Then signed Alan Shearer, and the rest was history. But they haven't been to a playoff campaign since then. Millwall's last at this level back in 1994. On a night where they lost the derby here, which you may well remember. 18 minutes gone. They lead this one by a goal nil. Really good value for it as well. Here's David Connolly.
Yeah, absolutely. I think our will be thrilled. Any sort of loose pass from Blackburn, they're onto it, Millwall. You know, I've lost count how many times they've regained the ball in the Blackburn half. It's been superb so far.
And Ben Brereton Diaz has just been pulled to the ground by McNamara. The free kick is taken by Blackburn on the left-hand side of the midfield. So Fulham leading in the Premier League against Leicester by a goal to 0. Foxes can ill afford to lose that game, particularly with Nottingham Forest against Southampton coming up later. And you can hear that game live on Talksport. The build-up starting at 6 on Game Day Live. The ball is worked down the right-hand touchline. Saw, but Thomas chasing after. It's gone just out of play. And talking that Fulham-Leicester game, there's been another goal for Ollie Klink.
Fulham 2, Leicester 0. 17 minutes gone. It's Carlos Vinicius who's got it, Jim. He was slipped in inside the box. Far too easy. Foss was nowhere near him, and he was able to slide it past Everson. And Fulham are in full control here. The Foxes have so much to do. 18 minutes gone. Fulham 2, Leicester 0.
Leicester only above the bottom three on goal difference. Their goal difference right now minus 15. Leeds level on points with them minus 25. Forest level on points with them with a game in hand against bottom club Southampton, as I was saying. Their goal difference much worse. Everton a point adrift, and then Southampton 6 off them. But Leicester in trouble. Hard to make a case if they lose today for the season having a satisfactory conclusion for them. So many crucial games coming up over the next 3 weeks in terms of the Premier League. So many crucial games in the Championship taking place today. Goals at a premium, but big one here. Scored after 8 minutes by Duncan Watmore. Zian Fleming's hit the post since then. A header coming through the midfield from Blackburn Rovers. Dom Hyam. And it's picked up on the right-hand side of midfield here by Schmodix. Schmodix, the former Peterborough man. Rankin Costello making his way forward from right back into central midfield. Flicks it out towards Brereton Diaz. Pickering on the overlap. Sliding challenge comes from the retreating Burke. Out of play for a throw, which will be taken on the Blackburn Rovers left-hand side.
Yeah, good defending there, wasn't it, from Ollie Burke? He read the pace of Pickering on the overlap, and he's got a job to do out of possession today, Burke, and that pace is going to be really important. Certainly tracking Pickering on the overlap.
Millwall leading Blackburn here 1-0. Blackpool leading at Norwich 1-0. West Brom a goal up at Swansea, and that's your lot. Everything else in the Championship at the moment is 0-0. So it's Millwall 5th and Coventry 6th as the table stands right now. But it will all change, and maybe a few times over the course of the afternoon. Blackburn have a throw. We'll be back round the grounds for more details of those playoff matches in a moment, as Rankin Costello towards the edge of the area sets up Wharton. Oh, what a strike from Adam Wharton! He's 20 yards out, he's got it onto his left foot, and he stroked it into the bottom left-hand corner. Well, he's a teenager with an immense reputation. It's only the 20th senior game of his career today, and that's only goal number 2. But it just shows that all the hype is justified. It's a big goal that gets Blackburn Rovers' season back on track to an extent. Millwall 1, Blackburn 1.
Well, we said they were growing. They're playing some good football coming into this game, Rovers, and they kept it well on this right-hand side. Fed it into Wharton. What a finish. Set the ball sort of outside the post, bent back in beautifully. Saville with the diving challenge, couldn't get close to it. Fantastic from young Wharton. Lefty just playing off this right-hand side, always looking to cut in and bend it in the far corner. He did it really, really well. Great goal.
And that, as things stand, is the goal that takes Millwall out of the playoff positions. Doesn't get Blackburn in, but it does get West Bromwich Albion in. They lead at Swansea. And let's get an update from there in Lawrence Mora.
Swansea 0, West Brom 1. That news just filtering through, and in the top away end they are celebrating. We are going up. The chance. There's also a punch in the air from the commentary teams behind me. The Albion are believing. Swansea 0, West Brom 1.
And a big goal at the Riverside as well for Graham Courtney.
It certainly is. It's Middlesbrough 0, Coventry 1. Gustavo Hamer, he had a shot in the opening minute and he's just had another one. Not a single thing that Zach Steffen could do about it. If it stays like this, Coventry, well, they will be in the playoffs. The Borough will always be fourth. We have got, 21 minutes on the clock here. The Borough 0, Coventry 1. There's commentary on Talksport 2.
And if it stays like that, they'll play each other again in the playoffs. Middlesbrough 1. Middlesbrough 0, Coventry 1, I beg your pardon, that goal on Teesside.
Well, this is where, Jim, the crowd are really important, because it will be filtering through. Everyone's got their phones, keeping an eye on the scores, and there was a little misplaced pass there from Danny McNamara. You heard the crowd, the groans. They got to stick with them here.
Long ball launched forward, it's picked up by George Long, has had precious little to do, has been beaten by that goal from Adam Wharton. Watmore on 8 for Millwall, Wharton on 22 for Blackburn, 1-1 here. So it's Coventry in 5th, West Brom in 6th, Millwall down to 7th, and Sunderland 8th as things stand right now, as the long ball played over the top's too long for Bradshaw. How the Black Cats getting on a detail, Steve?
Preston 0, Sunderland 0. Sunderland steadying the ship to an extent after a really awkward, tense first 10 minutes. Very much second best, but they've had a bit of the ball, and Joe Geldhaus just had a big penalty shout waved away, but Preston still the more threatening of the two. Preston 0, Sunderland 0.
You're listening to Millwall against Blackburn in the EFL Championship, live on Talksport with Carling. The UK's #1 lager, 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. Now Blackburn on the front foot now that they've scored that goal. Remember, Rovers have to win this game, and they need Sunderland and West Brom to both fail to win. So for Blackburn to end in the top 6 from where we are now, they need to score another, and they need Swansea to do them a favour at home to West Brom. Just over an hour remaining. We played 25 minutes. It's one apiece. Brereton chasing down the left-hand side of the penalty area. McNamara got there first. Lays it back for George Long. Took a touch. And then the former Sheffield United goalkeeper is able to clear. Played forward towards Bradshaw. Bradshaw only 5'8", but he jumps 6'2". He's a great leader of the line for one so short. And it goes out of play for a throw. Another goal, this one at Swansea. Lawrence Mora.
Cat amongst the pigeons is Swansea 1, West Brom 1. Luke Cundall with it. He's burst into the area. A lovely touch by Joel Peru. Set him free, and Cundall finished into the bottom corner. Silence in the away fans. Swansea 1, West Brom 1.
Well, that hasn't filtered through here yet, but Millwall back in the top 6 with that goal. So it's Coventry 5th, Millwall 6th, Sunderland 7, West Brom down to 8, Blackburn still 9th. As the Lions bring it forward, Callum Stiles with a victim of a heavy challenge, but a fair one inside the penalty area. It's cleared out of play for a throw. Fleming play back through the midfield towards George Saville. And what it does mean, that goal at Swansea, that a goal for Blackburn here, and they go into the top 6. Stiles, 26 minutes gone. Millwall 1, Blackburn 1. Yesterday was such an absorbing day of playoff action in the National League and National League South and North. And the final day of Championship action isn't letting anyone down either. That's a poor clearance from the back, given away by Cooper. And then a thumping challenge comes in, and Watmore's not happy, and he and Rankin Costello just exchange a few words. But the net result of all of that is a Millwall throw.
Yeah, I mean, Jake Cooper just with a misplaced pass into midfield. He's got to be careful with that. I mean, look, he's a brilliant defender, Jake, but not probably his skill set is playing out from the back. Great long diagonals. He's got that one in the bag to Bradshaw, but I just caution him about playing those little passes into midfield. Blackburn have responded really, really well, you've got to say, since the goal. Equalised, obviously, but even when they did concede, they kept playing their football, dominating the ball, trying to force Millwall back, and yeah, they've done really well after that early goal against Rovers.
They've not got a great away record. In fact, it's the worst in the top 14 in the Championship. They've won 6 and lost 11 of their 22 away games. Here come the Lions again. Good ball play forward in towards Bradshaw. Bradshaw receiving Mitchell's pass, laying it back for Fleming. And he didn't quite hit the big screen with it, which is by the corner flag. But for a moment, it looked as though he was going to. That was the tee shot of an amateur golfer who sliced it almost at 45 degrees. Fleming, such a good player, and we've seen exhibitions of that throughout the course of the afternoon, but that's not his best. 28 minutes gone on Talksport. Jim Pravenin, the former Ireland international, David Connolly talking through the action. It's Millwall 1, Blackburn Rovers 1, and as things stand right now, it's as you were at the start of the day. Coventry 5th, Millwall 6th, and they're the two teams that will be heading through to the playoffs.
Well, it's taken to 28 minutes for the goalkeeper to realise how Millwall play. No, we're not going to play the ball out from the back in our own 6-yard box, invite pressure. We're going to kick long and play in Millwall's half for a little bit. And I know they might want to play an ideal way, but they got it wrong in the first 20-odd minutes, that's for sure.
Ball is worked down towards the Millwall right for Ollie Burke. And this touch just got the better of him, and it drifts out of play. Burke on loan from Werder Bremen, for whom he made one Bundesliga start this season. He actually spent the second half of last season here on loan as well. That was on loan from Sheffield United. He's got the one goal in this second loan spell so far. Blackburn playing out from the back. Pickering laying it back to the centre half, Dom Hyam. Hyam chipped down towards the Blackburn Rovers right hand side, where the captain Travis is able to pick it up. Stayed in, and Rankin Costello almost hits the referee with a crossfield ball intended for Brereton. It was a misplaced pass, and Millwall will be able to pick it up over on the right hand side. There's been a goal at Turf Moor. Champions Burnley in action. Andy Buckley.
27 minutes gone. Burnley 1, Cardiff 0. Josh Brownhill with the goal. An element of controversy because Cardiff felt there should have been a foul. Play on, said the referee, and Brownhill tapped in. Burnley 1, Cardiff 0.
And if they win, they'll end up with more than 100 points in the Championship this season. They would take them up to 101. Third straight win on the cards. They've only lost one of the last 25 league games. Vincent Kompany's Burnley champions. Sheffield United up with them. Luton guaranteed to finish third and Middlesbrough fourth. But the places immediately behind that are the ones up for grabs that we're concentrating on here on Talksport. This one 1-1 with 30 minutes gone between Millwall and Blackburn. Millwall had the ball in the net when it was 1-0. Fleming with a free kick that hit the post, came back towards Bradshaw, but he tapped in, deemed to be offside. And Blackburn equalised through Adam Wharton. And Rovers have it, bringing it forward with Hedges playing as a false nine today. Now making a run ahead of Ben Brereton Diaz, setting up Schmodix on the edge of the penalty area. Coming to his right hand side is Rankin Costello. He's going to get onto it. Heavy touch, gets round his first defender, but good covering from the experienced Cooper in behind Styles to make sure it was nothing worse than a corner.
Yeah, right place, right time there from Cooper. I mean, I thought Styles did well, because if he committed himself and made contact, probably would have given away a penalty. Good attack, though, again, from Blackburn Rovers, keeping the ball down the left-hand side, work it across to the other side of the pitch, and yeah, they're playing some fantastic football, you've got to say.
Yeah, as well defended by Jake Cooper, who's making his 300th Millwall appearance today. So this corner is the first of the game, and it's going to be taken by Sorba Thomas on the Blackburn Rovers right. And the Welshman working towards the edge of the penalty area. It's well worked. Oh, it's come through a crowd. Almost took a deflection, but Long got his hands down and was able to make the save. The deflection, had it been a more substantial one, would have wrong-footed the goalkeeper. It's a really well-worked corner. Just played back to the edge of the penalty area. Yeah, excellent. Really, really good. Sorba Thomas just reversed it right to the edge. Rankin Costello wasn't the cleanest of contacts, didn't quite have the thunderous power maybe to take it past the goalkeeper, but a lot of bodies in the way, and that's bright. You know, you want something different that you haven't done this season, that they won't be expecting, something off the training ground, and that was a good one. Blackburn have got a good record in this fixture. They've won 5 of the last 8 meetings with Millwall, who in turn have only been victorious on 1 of the last 14 occasions that the two sides have met. Brereton Diaz on halfway, playing it back, and Hyam will bring it forward here. He's got Carter to his right hand side. He's got Rankin Costello in space, standing almost Wurzel Gummidge-like with his arms out either side, demanding the ball to be played to him. He played it forward, and possession didn't last for long, and Billy Mitchell can bring it forward now through the Millwall midfield. Mitchell playing it down towards Watmore, showing for the return pass. Watmore used him as the decoy, went deeper for Saville. Saville in the central midfield for Millwall to Hutchinson inside his own half. Hutchinson then to Saville, who gets it again. As Bristol City take the lead at QPR with a goal from Mark Sykes coming up to the half-hour mark. QPR 0, Bristol City 1. Here's Saville, played at Danny McNamara. McNamara then to Hutchinson, who's 15 yards inside his own half, and Hutchinson will play it forward. Watmore just letting the ball run across him quite brilliantly. And now he'll take it on in his blue boots towards the edge of the penalty area and continues his run. Ball dropped short at the feet of Bradshaw. Bradshaw towards Styles. Styles tried to win the corner. He's taken a deflection. He's played it back from the dead ball line. Bradshaw trying to make something happen. He saw where Fleming was, and then Fleming, in his eagerness to try and get the ball, has caught Hedges. And it's a free kick which will be taken 10 yards outside the penalty area. Another goal at Turf Moor. Here's Andy Buckley.
Yes, half an hour gone. Burnley 2, Cardiff 0. And Ashley Barnes, the goal scorer, his farewell appearance for the club after a decade of service. A great cheer you can just hear. Barnes, the goal scorer. Brownhill got the first. Burnley 2, Cardiff 0.
And let's get an update as well from the Premier League game taking place this 3 o'clock kick-off at Fulham. Ollie Klink.
Fulham 2, Leicester 0, half an hour gone. Fulham should be 3 up, Jim, I've got to say. Lovely link-up play between Willian and Kearney down the left just now. It was fizzed across goal for Harrison Reed, 8 yards out, but his shot was straight at the keeper. Vardy's had a couple of good chances down the other end, but Leicester still looking very shaky at the back. Half an hour gone here. Fulham 2, Leicester 0.
McNamara bringing the ball forward, then gave it away, and there were a few murmurs of discontent at the possession not being cleanly kept, and the nerves are beginning to emanate around us as we go into the final hour of this league season, David.
Yeah, they are, and certainly, look, the way Rovers play, you know, they force you back, they dominate the ball. Look, Millwall are used to this. They've played plenty of size. Swansea, for example, here, dominate the ball, and chances might be few and far between. You've got to take them, but there've been a few misplaced passes, and they're just getting deeper and deeper. Millwall stretched all over the pitch, and it's been a really, really good spell for Blackburn Rovers, this.
And Millwall, at the moment, still the right side of the dotted line. Brereton Diaz just crops up on the right wing for a moment and plays the ball through the midfield. Now Carter take it under control, bring it over the halfway line, down towards the right hand side for Travis to Rankin Costello, who can take it on the half turn, trying to get away from Mitchell. Thomas's ball in, deflects, but Brereton Diaz will pick it up in his yellow boots towards the edge of the penalty area. There's another train trundles past on its way towards London Bridge Station. Thomas again. Millwall fans doing their best to make the atmosphere an intimidating one with the one-note roar that is a trademark here. Saville forced to slide in, concedes the corner, gets it away from Hedges. And it's another Blackburn Rovers corner, and Thomason will be impressed with what he's seen over the last 15 minutes, but one of the old truisms of football, you've got to score when you're on top.
Yeah, let's just see what they got in store here. Their last corner was pretty creative. You've got to say, in and around the box have looked very, very bright, and at the minute it's taking last-ditch challenges, isn't it, from Millwall players just to clear the danger.
So Thomas is going to take this corner. Nearly everybody forward. It's swung in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Saville got his head to it. And then Burke might be able to bring it away, and he's done well. He's headed it past the nearest Blackburn player, and he'll try and set up a counter-attack. He's got Fleming in support for him. High ball played forward. Oh, a terrible defensive header. It might be tapped in. It is! It's one more again. And Blackburn are architects of their own downfall. Against a run of play, Millwall take a 2-1 lead. High ball punted forward. Defender and goalkeeper came out to meet it. Neither got a clean contact on it, and the loose ball squirmed to the right-hand side of the penalty area. Watmore the quickest to react, and the angle was tight by the time he got there, but he embarrassed Pickering and Pears and slotted it in to make it Millwall 2, Blackburn 1.
Yeah, I mean, look, Watmore's got the goal, but this is probably why Ollie Burke is in the team, because they're defending a corner. The ball bounces, it breaks, and because of his pace, he gets there first, Ollie Burke, and then he just carries his team up the pitch, gobbles up the ground, gets over the halfway line, and it's probably not the best ball. It's a hit and hope in behind, and, you know, Harry Pickering's had a nightmare, an absolute nightmare, heads it clear, his goalkeeper's out of his goal, they both have a complete mix-up, and then Watmore's got a simple task just to stroke it into the net, but that is why Ollie Burke is in the team. Look, bringing the ball, carrying it forward, sort of hit and hope, diagonal in behind, complete mix-up at the back, and there's Watmore, Duncan Watmore, fantastic. Johnny on the spot, just to slot into the net.
Well, he's scored 8 goals this season now for his 2 clubs, Duncan Watmore, but 3 of them have come against Blackburn Rovers, and the 2 today might end Rovers' season. And that gives the Lions a little bit of insurance. They were in a perilous position, just hovering over that dotted line when the game was 1-1. They knew that a goal elsewhere might do for them, the concession of a goal here might do them, but now, as I say, they have that little bit of insurance. On a day that they know they're in the playoffs if they win, they lead by 2-1. We'll go to Deepdale. Here's Steve Hothersall.
Massive chance missed by Preston North End. It's Preston 0, Sunderland 0. Liam Delap running through clear from halfway line, one-on-one with Anthony Patterson. Really should have scored and dragged his shot wide. Sunderland still hanging on. Preston 0, Sunderland 0.
A point good enough for Coventry. They got 3 against their name at the moment at Middlesbrough. Graham Courtney.
Certainly have. Middlesbrough 0, 0, Coventry City 1. Got to say, Borough way off the pace. Potentially going to be losing 3 in a row. Could be bad in terms of confidence, that one. But Coventry could be undefeated in 7. They're looking good. It's Borough 0, Coventry 1. There's commentary on Talksport 2.
And Millwall have scored again. They lead by 3 goals to 1. And this time it was Ward that gave the ball away in the midfield. And the ball played down the right-hand side of the penalty area for Burke, who just drove it low and hard into the bottom left-hand corner, across the face of the goalkeeper. They've scored 2 in 2 minutes, and that might just about be job done.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Blackburn Rovers, architects of their own downfall. Wharton scored a wonderful goal at one end, but he's needlessly given the ball away in his own half, straight to Ollie Burke. 1v1, he doesn't really go past his man, he's just trying to get close to the box and then maybe shoot through legs, and that's exactly what he does. It looks like he shoots through Harry Pickering's legs and then rifles it into the bottom corner. Ainsley Pears couldn't do too much about that. 3-1, what a response here from Millwall.
Well, prior to today, this season, neither Burke nor Watmore had scored here. But they've got 3 between them inside the opening 40 minutes, and the Den is bouncing. Millwall 3, Blackburn 1. And you can hear the noise behind us, the intensity of the Lions support. It's going to take a mammoth comeback from here for Blackburn Rovers, you would imagine. But they'll give it a go with Sorba Thomas playing it down the line, and Hedges is going to sprint to try and keep it in. Oh, his industry is rewarded. He did brilliantly to keep that in, and then a sliding challenge comes in. No foul on Travis, and Millwall are going to be able to bring it away from inside their own penalty area with a long ball pumped forward there by Hutchinson. Fleming trying to help it on for Watmore, is on a hat-trick, and then Bradshaw is offside, and it's a free kick that will be taken by Blackburn Rovers. Millwall 3, Blackburn Rovers 1 on Talksport.
Yeah, and certainly 2 of those goals are completely avoidable for Blackburn Rovers. You'd probably say, what was Pears doing for Watmore's second one? If he stays at home, Pickering probably deals with the danger, and then Wharton there with the misplaced pass in the middle of the park, and yeah, the pace of Ollie Burke and the quality, you've got to say, finished it really, really well, didn't he? Low into the corner.
Well, they're unbeaten in their 9 home games against top 11 opposition this season here at Millwall. They have lost 5, but they've all been against sides from outside that top 11. It's a real strange season that they've had in these parts, but they lead this one by 3 goals to 1. 8-2, like Blackburn, have been struggling for goals recently until they got 3 at Blackpool last week and 3 in the first half of the big game, the season denouement against Blackburn Rovers. And the last 2 in just a shade over 2 minutes, and that after a 20-minute spell where Blackburn have been the better team, David.
Yeah, that's right. I thought, once they, even leading up to their equaliser, Blackburn Rovers have played some excellent football. And it's just fine margins, right? Individual errors have cost them here. And you've got to say, Millwall have been very efficient, clinical with those opportunities. They've taken them. I mean, one was put on a plate, you've got to be honest. The second one from Watmore, but that finish from Ollie Burke was brilliant. Rifled low into the corner, through the legs of Harry Pickering. That was deliberate, that was intentional.
Thomas just had a little nibble at Fleming there off the ball. Fleming then turns it forward into Travis, comes off him, and goes out of play for a throw that'll be taken on the Millwall left-hand side. So those 2 quick goals, fantastic news for Millwall, terrible news for Blackburn, and not great news for West Brom either. They're at Swansea. Here's Lawrence Morrow.
Swansea 1, West Brom 1, 43 on the clock. The Swansea fans are taunting the Albion, saying, Premier League, you're having a laugh. And most of the Albion have gone for a half-time cuppa on the pitch. Swansea dominating possession and really frustrating the Albion, who desperately need to get back in front. 43 on the clock, Swansea 1, West Brom 1.
And a reminder, Burnley lead Cardiff by 2 goals to 0. Coventry, the goal up at Middlesbrough, they'll finish 5th if it stays that way. Millwall 3, Blackburn 1, the Lions will be 6th. Blackpool leading at Norwich 1-0. Bristol City a goal up at QPR, and it's goalless in the others as Millwall bring it forward. Play down the right-hand touchline for the goal scorer of number 3, Ollie Burke. And the Scotsman taking it down towards the corner flag has done really well. He's won a throw. Has come off Wharton. And the ball out of play for a throw that they'll be in no hurry to take, but Fleming will trot over there, and you know what's coming. It's going to be another long one launched inside the penalty area, and a fourth goal here, and it is all over.
Well, I just wonder, because I just had a little look at Gary Rowett a few minutes ago, and he gave a little signal on the pitch. I just wonder whether Watmore might be operating more down through the middle. We'll have to wait and see. I think he knows there's goals there for him. This game could be over by half-time. Watmore, get yourself down the middle. You and Bradshaw go and cause havoc for the last couple of minutes.
Fleming again with a long one inside the penalty area. It's headed on. Watmore was in space, but Mitchell's header couldn't find him. Clipped back over the top by Styles. Good header by Saville. Down behind Zian Fleming on the right-hand side. The Dutchman swinging inside the penalty area. It's behind 2 or 3. Breaks for Watmore. Takes a touch. Gets himself into a shooting position. Goes down. He's waved up by the referee. No penalty. And Hyam will clear it. And he'll clear it into Hutchinson and out of play for a goal kick.
Oh, I tell you what, he did really well here, Duncan Watmore, but he probably took one touch too many. You know, got his arm up, fake to shoot again, drew a couple of fouls, and didn't look like there was contact there. He was working his way from the left-hand side of the box to the right. Probably the right call from the referee.
Well, what a first half it has been. And certainly with half an hour gone, when Blackburn were piling on the pressure, you wouldn't have anticipated that it would end with the scoreline that we have at the moment. We've gone into 2 minutes of added time at the end of this first half. Here on Talksport, Millwall 3, Blackburn 1. So just to reiterate the situation at the moment, if it stays this way, the playoffs will be Luton against Millwall and Middlesbrough against Coventry. And we will have all 4 legs of those playoff semi-finals on the Talksport network. All the playoff action covered for you on your home of the EFL. And a reminder, coming up later tonight on Talksport, that big relegation game between 2 of the bottom 3 in the Premier League, between Forest and Southampton. That's a game that has massive implications for Leicester, who need a lifeline. Have they got it at Craven Cottage or not? Ollie Klink.
No, and it's getting embarrassing for them, Jim. Fulham 3, Leicester 0. Tom Kearney this time with the goal. Lovely feet inside the box, and then he just bent a shot past the keeper into the bottom right-hand corner. But Fulham have been all over the Foxes in this game, in a game that matters so much to them in their fight against relegation. But at the break, as we come up to half-time, they find themselves 3 goals down. Kearney with the goal. Fulham 3, Leicester 0.
Ollie, thank you. Just over 30 seconds to go in first half stoppage time here at the Den. 3-1 Millwall, and the roof will come off the place when the half-time whistle blows. Hyam playing it back for his goalkeeper. And Pears just playing out towards the right-hand side. It's Thrashford down the right-hand touchline by Carter, the centre half of Blackburn. Millwall win the first ball. Styles with that. Travis picks up the seconds. Barely time for one last Blackburn Rovers attack, but the ball is worked out towards Ben Brereton Diaz. Chance for him to run at McNamara. He's pulled it back to Schmodix on the edge of the area. Right-footed effort across the face of goal and wide, and that'll be half-time. And Millwall are 45 minutes away from getting into the playoffs in the second tier for the first time in nearly 30 years. Brilliant start given to them by Duncan Watmore. Fleming then hit the post from a free kick, bundled in by Bradshaw, who was flagged offside. That was a prelude to a better period for Blackburn. They scored with Adam Wharton. They were the better team until that double strike in 2 minutes. One from Watmore, one from Berg, both eminently preventable from a Blackburn Rovers point of view, and those individual errors might be ending their season here in SE16 today. It's Millwall 3, Blackburn Rovers 1 at half-time.
And what a noise in this place. The atmosphere, I've been in many times. That's the best atmosphere I've ever heard. And the fans are showing their appreciation for what has been a brilliant first half. One little blip in there, out of nothing, the Adam Wharton goal. But Millwall in control and in control of their own destiny. And as it stands, Jim's got it spot on. They'll be playing Luton in the playoff semi-finals. Coventry will be taking on Middlesbrough. So Millwall 3-1 up. As it stands at half-time, they will be in the playoffs. We've got half-time at the Swansea.com stadium as well. Lawrence Mora.
where it is Swansea 1, West Brom 1 at the break. A cracking half, keeping the sellout crowd on the edge of their seats. Albion got the start that they desperately needed. It was all thanks to the Swans trying to play out from the back and making an absolute dog's dinner of it. Excuse me, I put my teeth back in. Yokoslu passing the ball into an empty net after being set up in the middle of the penalty area. With goals flying in elsewhere, the Baggies were in the playoffs for a brief period. It all unravelled on 26 minutes though. Swans with a cracker of a goal. Luke Cundle on loan from Wolves. Quick feet just outside the area, played it into Grimes. Grimes on to Perot. Perot back to Cundle on the run, who finished into the far corner. Sensational goal. After that, Swans dominated the possession. They had the better chances, and the Baggies were clinging on, trying to hit on the break. Their fans looked pretty dispirited at the break, but there is still 45 minutes to go. At the break, Swansea 1, West Brom 1.
Now get this at the Riverside. Late first half goal. Graham Courtney.
It's all square. It's Middlesbrough 1, Coventry 1. Bit of a scramble goal. 2 or 3 players have gone into it, but I think Cameron Archer is the one who's going to get their final touch. Yes, it is. He drills it in from the corner of the 6-yard box, and do you know what? That is not what Middlesbrough deserve, because in this game so far, they've been absolutely appalling. There goes the half-time whistle. Their defence is all over the place as well. Coventry need just 1 point from this game, and up to only 10 seconds ago, they were looking good to pick up all 3. But please remember that if Coventry lose this one, then potentially they could miss out on the playoffs altogether. Their goal came in the 21st minute, and they've had 2 shots on target, both from the same player. Gustavo Hamer with a belter of a shot in the opening minute. Good save by the Borough keeper. But then that goal coming after 21 minutes, squared ball from Matt Godden, and he's managed to knock it in from fairly close range. But Cameron Archer with really the last kick of the opening 45 minutes. Fascinating second 45 coming up. There'll be commentary of that on Talksport 2. Half-time here at the Riverside Stadium. It's Middlesbrough 1, Coventry 1.
Well, I may get the Millwall go into fifth with that. We'll confirm all of that when we've got all the half-time scorelines in. Let's go to Deepdale. Half-time there, Mickey Gray and Steve Holdersall.
Yeah, half-time Preston 0, Sunderland 0. Sunderland's playoff hopes are dimming. The pre-match party the fans were having certainly wasn't matched on the pitch. They survived 2 big chances for Preston and Tom Cannon in the opening stages. Then Patterson had a huge slice of luck as a deflected Ali McCann shot darted just past his post with the Black Cats keeper flat-footed. Sunderland dragged themselves back into the contest, but they've always looked vulnerable, and they should have been made to pay when Delap ran through one-on-one. He fluffed his line. Sunderland's best chance went Gelhardt's way, but his low shot lacked some quality. Mickey Gray, was such a nervous start from Sunderland in this game.
Oh, absolutely. The first 15-20 minutes you thought the game was going to be over. They never come to the races. They just couldn't get themselves any flow in the game whatsoever. And those early opportunities for Preston, they just needed to take one, and this place would have erupted. But the more the first half went along, Sunderland got themselves some really good opportunities. Patrick Roberts and Jack Clark looked really lively on the flanks. Great effort from Roberts, and an outstanding save, wasn't it, from Woodman in that Preston goal. But that Joe Gelhardt chance, I mean, that's absolutely huge. You're talking about a centre forward in Ross Stewart, who's been missing for half the season. He puts that in the back of the net. You go in at half time, 1 goal up, albeit you probably didn't deserve it, but that's the difference. Top strikers score goals. Joe Gelhardt didn't really look like scoring.
They're a young team, Sunderland. They got 45 minutes, and of course it's out of their hands largely. But what will Tony Mowbray say now?
Well, start the second half brighter than you did the first half, pretty much, because the football that they play when they get the ball down has been absolutely fantastic. The forward players look really, really at it. There's no question about that. But look, they've got 45 minutes. 45 minutes just to score a goal, and then you're praying that the other results go your way.
You never know. You never know their destiny. But at the moment, Preston 0, Sunderland 0.
So that's all the playoff games there. Let me give you the picture then. At half-time, Luton in third, we know. Middlesbrough in fourth, we know. Millwall, as it stands, are fifth. Coventry are sixth. Sunderland, West Brom and Blackburn will all miss out. So it'll mean Coventry against Luton in the playoffs and Millwall against Middlesbrough in the playoffs, but another 45 minutes of the regular season to go. Now let's get into the Premier League. It's half-time at Craven Cottage, and Leicester having a meltdown, Ollie Klink.
Fulham 3, Leicester 0 at half-time, Adrian. Fulham in full control here, and Leicester have been lifeless. It was Willian who broke the deadlock in the 10th minute, whipping a free kick in from the left. It evaded everyone and ended up in the back of the net. They doubled their lead just 8 minutes later. Harry Wilson slipping in Carlos Vinicius, who who slid it past the keeper, and then just a minute before the break, Tom Kearney made it 3. A lovely finish after jinking past a pretty non-existent Fox's backline inside the box. It's not been good enough whatsoever from Leicester City, and if it stays like this, they'll still only be out of the bottom 3 on goal difference. They could end the day in the drop zone. The Foxes fans are furious. They were screaming at their players as they came off the pitch, and you can't blame them really. Half-time at the Cottage, and Dean Smith needs a miracle. It's Fulham 3, Leicester 0.
That is disastrous from a Leicester point of view. And don't forget, Nottingham Forest, Southampton, 2 of the bottom 3 will face each other, and it's on game night on Talksport. Our coverage from the City Ground with Sam Matthews gets underway from 6 p.m. on Talksport. Back to the Championship final day, half-time at Kenilworth Road. Talksport's Ian Stringer.
Luton Town 0, Hull City 0, and the 8 changes from Luton manager Rob Edwards are showing slightly. I'd probably give Hull City the better of the half, to be honest. They hit the post in the 11th minute. Sayed Manesh at the bottom of the post. It was actually Luton's Bradley that headed it to him. He was in on goal. He hit the bottom of the post, and his former posh man Joe Taylor, who's had the Hatters' best chance, a point-blank save from 2 or 3 yards. Somehow Ingram has managed to keep it out. All eyes and ears on phones and radios around Kenilworth Road, Adrian, because as well you say, they're third. They will finish third. Who's going to be sixth? If it's Coventry, incidentally, Luton are unbeaten in 9 against the Sky Blues. Half-time, Luton 0, Hull 0.
And it's half-time for the champions at Turf Moor, and it's going well for them, Andy Buckley.
Half-time, Burnley 2, Cardiff 0. A performance of true champions. 2 quick-fire goals, putting classy Burnley on course to top 100 points for the season. Brownhill tapped in from close range just before the half-hour mark. Cardiff felt it was an injustice, claiming there was a foul on Rinomota in the build-up. 4 minutes later, Barnes lashed home a second, his final game for the club. Cardiff under the cosh for long spells, but they had their moments. Colwill with the best sight of the Burnley goal, but he scuffed his shot. Half-time, Burnley 2, Cardiff 0.
Half-time at St Andrews on Talksport. Dave Rowe.
Birmingham 0, Sheffield United 0. Both sides have been frustrated by the woodwork here. Birmingham with the first major effort. Short corner between Bacuna and Longello. Bacuna's cross on Lukas Jukovic with a close-range header off the bar. The Blades stepped things up around the half-hour mark, and Jai with a great run and shot deflected over the crossbar. Then a remarkable period of play, and Jai with the pull-back for Tommy Doyle, whose shot hit the post. It bounced back to James McAtee, who picked his spot and hit the same post. A big escape there for the home side. At the break, Birmingham 0, Sheffield United 0.
This is Game Day. Half-time classifieds.
In the Premier League, half-time, Fulham 3, Leicester 0, Brighton Everton at 5:30, Forest Southampton at 8. Championship half-times, Birmingham 0, Sheffield United 0, Burnley 2, Cardiff 0, Huddersfield 0, Reading 0, Luton 0, Hull City 0, Middlesbrough 1, Coventry 1, Millwall 3, Blackburn 1, Norwich 0, Blackpool 1, Preston 0, Sunderland 0, QPR 0, Bristol City 1, Swansea 1, West Brom 1, Watford 0, Stoke 0, Wigan 0, Rotherham 0, and full times from League 2 earlier, Barrow 0, Stevenage 1, Bradford 1, Orient 1, Colchester 0, Mansfield 2, Grimsby 1, Wimbledon 0, Harrogate 1, Rochdale 1, Newport 2, Crewe 2, Salford 0, Gillingham 1, Stockport 1, Hartlepool 1, Sutton 1, Carlisle 1, Swindon 2, Crawley 1, Tranmere 0, Northampton 1, Northampton promoted, and Walsall 2, Doncaster 1.
This is a shameless plug for CEF's biggest electrical event, CEF Live. It's the place for electricians to amp up their knowledge on the latest tools, tech and industry talk from over 85 leading brands. So if your top turn-on is a 13-amp socket, come join the inner circuit. 8th to the 9th of June at the NEC Birmingham. Register for free now at ceflive.co.uk. Your crowd, your trade, your event.
EFL Live on Talksport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, please drink responsibly. EFL Live on Talksport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, please drink responsibly.
The Oak Furnitureland bonus bank holiday sale is on now, and we've got a huge range of sofas at fantastic prices. So why not find your perfect sofa for less? All our sofas come with a lifetime frame guarantee, so whichever style you choose, sink into it knowing it's built to last. Find great savings on sofas with lasting value you can trust. Only in the bonus bank holiday sale at Oak Furnitureland. ends Monday.
Doing my accounts is really time consuming. Anything that can help me and make my life easier, give me 5 minutes more to spend with my daughter, I will honestly take it on.
Sage Tools helps small business owners like Kaylee have more time for those precious little moments. Visit sage.com today. Sage, helping business flow.
How prepared are you when rain surprises you whilst you're out driving? Introducing the new Bridgestone Turanza 6 tyre with Enlightened technology. The premium summer tyre with best-in-class wet performance and improved fuel efficiency versus its predecessor. The Turanza 6 is also suited to hybrid and electric vehicles. Bridgestone Turanza 6, prepared to perform even on a rainy day. Find your nearest Bridgestone tyre dealer at bridgestone.co.uk. All claims can be verified at bridgestone.co.uk/Turanza 6.
At Betfred, we want betting to be safe, so we have a range of tools to help. You can set a deposit limit to control your spending. Reality checks are there to remind you how long you've been playing. And if you need to take a break, you can set a timeout whenever you like. For more help, speak to our shop staff or visit betfred.com. Betting should be fun and friendly, so please remember, gamble safely.
18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Did you know that if you owned or leased a diesel vehicle between 2009 and 2020, then you could be entitled to significant compensation? At My Diesel Claim, we're experts in handling these claims, and over 1 million drivers have already trusted us to represent them in their no-win, no-fee claims. It's completely free to sign up, and you can check your vehicle's eligibility instantly. Head to mydieselclaim.com and join thousands of others starting their claims today.
The Brewdog Gold Can is back. Find one and win $5,000 cash. And this time we're staying on the right side of advertising standards and all those angry people online. Find a gold-plated can that's gold-plated, not solid gold, specifically in the multi-packs that are part of this promotion, and you'll win £5,000 cash. It's not a literal bag of change, but it's £5,000 and it will be yours, as will the can. That, I repeat, is not solid gold, but gold-plated. I think underneath it's brass or something, but don't quote me on that. Find the gold can, gold-plated, find one of those and win $5,000, okay? Terms and conditions apply.
On the app, on DAB, on 1089 and 1053 medium wave, and on your smart speaker, Talksport.
Yes! It's 1-0 Millwall, and it's Duncan Watmore. Oh, what a strike from Adam Wharton. He's 20 yards out, he's got it onto his left foot, and he stroked it into the bottom left-hand corner.
Back to Hamer, via deflection. Hamer shoots into the bottom corner. Coventry lead at Middlesbrough, and Coventry heading towards the top 6 in the Championship.
Might be tapped in, it is! It's Watmore again, and Blackburn are architects of their own downfall. Against the run of play, Millwall take a 2-1 lead. Bird, and it's into the bottom left-hand corner for free. That might be job done. And Millwall have scored again. They lead by 3 goals to 1.
And a snapshot from Mowat, and Archer pounces. Middlesbrough 2 get the equaliser, and Coventry concede right on half-time.
What a first half here at the Den. The home fans loved it, so much so the Blackburn have come back out early. Only 9 players there. They'll be making changes. We'll tell you about those in a second as the Millwall players make their way out onto the field. Incredible noise here in the first half. I've been here many times, as I said. Big noise. We are Millwall. No one likes us. We don't care. Zian Fleming, he comes from Amsterdam. He really doesn't like West Ham. I'm not quite sure they were the exact lyrics, but they were very close. But we are getting ready for the second half. As it stands, the playoffs are going to be Coventry against Luton and Millwall against Middlesbrough. Expect drama, expect twists and turns in the second half with David Connolly and Talksport commentator Jim Proudfoot.
So 45 games this season, and it's all now distilled down to 45 minutes for Blackburn Rovers, who have to find a way back into this game. This is a match they need to win. They need 3 unanswered goals in the second half even to give themselves a chance. They made a double change at half-time. Travis and Thomas off. Britton and Dolan on. Callum Britton, a fullback. And Tyrese Dolan, who hasn't scored in his last 12 games since the cup tie against Leicester, can play through the middle. He can play out wide, but he's come on here as the number 9. And so a modified role for Hedges in this second half. A modified role for a few of them because Rankin Costello is playing a little bit further forward as well. Here's David Connolly.
Yeah, and we touched on before the game about Tyree Stolen. I'm surprised he didn't start, but he's a real talent. You know, he's very, very quick, excellent feet, footwork. I know he hasn't been amongst the goals of late, but yeah, a few changes at half-time. They need a response, that's for sure.
Well, Blackburn haven't won in any of their last 22 league games when they've conceded the first goal. That's a run that goes back to March last year. That's something they have to do here. Not just come back from 1-0 down, they've now got to come back from 3-1 down. And no changes for Millwall, you'll be unsurprised to hear.
And no changes either. They've got a free kick. This time it's in their own half, and the centre halves are up. It's going to be launched in the Blackburn box.
Blackburn again keeping this high line about 9-10 yards outside the penalty area. 8 in that line. Swung in behind them. It's there to be attacked. Out comes the goalkeeper, Ainsley Pears, and punches it clear. A loose ball will be brought down by Mitchell, but there was a foul by Watmore. And the free kick taken quickly. Oh, the referee has asked for it to be retaken because Mitchell was closing Wharton down. And he wasn't 10 yards away from the ball, but Wharton had still got it past him and has squeezed it down towards Brereton Diaz. And Blackburn a little bit frustrated that wasn't allowed to stand. Maybe the ball was moving, but now it is taken and we're back underway.
Well, I'm sure at half-time, John Dale Thomason, there's a few things probably going through his head. One of them would have been, you know, when you come away from home, those individual errors, Pickering has probably not made one all season, and he makes one like that. Quickly, got to put it out of your mind. You know, a couple of changes, have an impact, and see if you can go out there and start on the front foot in the second half.
I was just speaking to a colleague of mine here, of a Lancastrian Blackburn Rovers fan today, trying to be as neutral as he can while he covers this game. And he had a face of thunder, not happy with the manner of the concessions of the goals. He said, but seeing you makes me feel better. At least my side aren't playing in Division 6 next season. So I was glad that I could serve a purpose. Here's Wharton. And it's played down towards Schmodix on the left-hand side for Blackburn. Dolan with a neat injection of pace. Comes in off the left-hand touchline. Flicks it around the corner for Brereton Diaz. Schmodix with a misplaced pass. He was trying to roll it wide for Callum Britton. Millwall are able to bring it away, but then they give it away as it's presented in the midfield straight to Dom Hyam. And they'll be able to bring it forward again with Pickering to Brereton Diaz. Dolan able to turn neatly. Just flicks it off. Just undersold the pass a little bit. Rankin Costello can still pick it up. Brereton Diaz tries his luck. It's Saville and Mitchell that came to meet it. The two in central midfield for Millwall, and they both blocked it. Blackburn winning it back. Expect that they'll have the majority of possession in this second half, but it's just a question of how easy they find it to find a way through. Remember, they need to win this game, and they're 3-1 down. If they win the game, they need other results to go their way. Brereton Diaz. Back to the heart of the defence. Chance for Carter to bring it forward. Carter out for Callum Britton, whose last 3 appearances have all been at left back for Blackburn, but he's back in his more favoured position on the right-hand side here. No goals to tell you about anywhere in the second half. A reminder that Leicester had a torrid first 45 minutes in the 3 o'clock Premier League game. They're 3 down at Fulham. And we'll keep you updated with all the news from there and all of the goals that matter in the Championship. But no change at the moment. Brereton Diaz making his way forward towards the edge of the area. Dolan just had Saville's arms around him, and it's a free kick on the edge of the D, marginally left of centre. And you feel that even at this stage of the game, if Blackburn are going to make a comeback and get themselves back into this game, this is the kind of opportunity they've got to make the most of.
Yeah, and Brereton Diaz has grabbed the ball. I mean, this all started with him. Brilliant little bit of skill, turn of pace to get away from Ollie Burke, who is rapid, obviously. Burst past him, then a nice little pass into Tyree Stolen. Great footwork. That is something that he is renowned for. He's fantastic with the ball at his feet. But yeah, Brereton Diaz has grabbed this, and this is just slightly left of centre. You'd probably say, Jim, when he puts that ball down, it's in line with the near post. And it's a big wall for Millwall. They obviously got good height, but there's enough distance, isn't there, to the wall to get this up and down if needs be.
Well, there is by the time he spotted it down. The referee, I think, has done him a favour, because where he put the spray was a couple of yards further back than where the infringement was. So it actually makes it a little bit easier for Brereton Diaz to get this over the wall and then back down again. This is a big moment. 5 in the wall. And he just rubs his left hand through his beard. And now now addresses the ball, and he's just saying...
The wall, look at the Millwall wall, Jim. I mean, that has moved about a yard, if not more.
That's the point that Burton Diaz is making. Runs up to it, hits it, right footed through the wall. It's saved twice, but put it on the follow-up by Rankin Costello, and Blackburn are back in it. They throw themselves a lifeline. 5 minutes into the second half. Good free kick from Burton Diaz. Too hot to handle for George Long. And although he then made one follow-up save, he was powerless to stop the ricochet coming out a second time to Joe Rankin Costello. And it's Millwall 3, Blackburn 2, and they came into the second half needing 3 to give themselves a chance, and they got one of them pretty much straight away.
Yeah, pretty clever here from Brereton Diaz, because it's a tall wall. You know, you got Jake Cooper in there. How are you going to get it up and over? So you go around it. Went goalkeeper's side. I think George Long, you'd probably say, could he parry that, push that wide, not back into the danger zone? He did that in the 6-yard box, and then obviously they gobble up the rebound. Rankin Costello. Oh, it is game on.
Well, the first goal in the first half was here. First goal in the second half here as well, as McNamara plays it forward though for Tom Bradshaw, and that will go out of play just the right side of the corner flag from a Blackburn perspective for a throw. There's been a goal at Craven Cottage. Ollie Klink.
Fulham 4, Leicester City 0. Tom Kearney with his second of the afternoon. Kenny Tete was charging up the right-hand side. He whipped it back across goal. There was Kearney. So much time inside the box to place it into the bottom left-hand corner. And Leicester City are in deep, deep trouble, not just in this game, but in terms of the Premier League as well. 51 minutes gone, Fulham 4, Leicester 0.
Long throw from Fleming inside the penalty area is cleared. McNamara can pick it up. It's Millwall 3, Blackburn 2. Going to bounce down inside the penalty area. No way that was going to be given as a penalty. The referee having a look, but Hutchinson had gone to ground, and Blackburn give it away with Dolan. It's won back and worked down the line by McNamara. Fleming chases in, but Pickering's there first. Hyam will clear. Brereton Diaz through the midfield. Dolan sticks out a foot, but only hits Saville with it, and McNamara will be able to work it back to his goalkeeper. Huddersfield lead Reading 1-0 in one of the dead rubbers. Huddersfield safe after that extraordinary run under Neil Warnock. They won 5 of the last 8 and set to extend that to 6 out of 9. Josh Koroma with the goal. Reading might be ending their season without a win in 13. Ball out of play for a throw, which will be taken on the Blackburn Rovers left. Some game this, David Connery.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they've responded again, haven't they, Blackburn, you've got to say. Come out on the front foot. The changes, I think, have worked, added a bit more dynamism to them. They've got more pace, more trickery. It's just whether they can keep it tight at the other end, because, you know, when they break Millwall at times, they do look a threat on the counter. A couple of times, Danny McNamara, though, that fullback, when they do win it back, you know, go a bit bigger with your clearances, put that ball in the channel, get Ollie Burt to run after it. A couple of them have just been a little bit too short, and it just means Millwall haven't been able to get up the pitch.
There's been a goal as well at Swansea. Lawrence Mora.
Swansea 1, West Brom 2. Semi Ajayi has absolutely leathered this ball into the top corner of the net. It came from a corner on the left. The loose ball dropped, and Ajayi was on hand to smash it home. Swansea 1, West Brom 2.
So the implications for that are that if Millwall now concede another one, then they will be out of the playoff picture, and West Brom will climb above them into 6th. Still more twists and turns. It's a free kick here, which will be taken by Millwall. George Long's in no hurry to take it whatsoever. Brereton Diaz flagged offside. We played 9 minutes of the second half here on Talksport. Millwall 3, Blackburn Rovers 2.
Yeah, George Long just spots the ball down. He want to put this right into the corner. Up to Ollie Burke. He's done well in the air, Ollie Burke. Up against Pickering. He's probably their biggest one, isn't he, up front of that front unit. And the crowd just need to settle down as well. Obviously, a lot of them still getting back to their seats after the half-time break.
So Millwall, as things stand right now, 5th. And they will be playing Middlesbrough. It will be Luton against Coventry. Coventry only need a draw to ensure that they're in the playoffs. Millwall might need to win. They do at the moment. Bradshaw's got it, right-hand side of the penalty area. His ball in is blocked. It's a clever little reverse from Burke. Bradshaw can't make anything of it. Mitchell And that will go out of play for a throw. Deadlock broken at St Andrews. Dave Rowe.
Birmingham 0, Sheffield United 1. Ollie McBurney's 15th goal of the season. Good move. Doral finding Basham right-hand side. Clip ball in by Basham. McBurney with the header. Birmingham 0, Sheffield United 1.
He's now their joint leading scorer with Iliman Ndiaye. Sheffield United guaranteed to finish second. The news from Birmingham today is fantastic news. The takeover of the club are still yet to be finally ratified. It looks as though it's going to happen, which will include full purchase of the land on which St Andrews stands. So it's news that every Birmingham fan is absolutely euphoric about. A good end of the season for them, but they're trailing on the field by 1-0. So the team's chasing the playoffs. Millwall leading 3-2. Coventry 1-1 at Borough. West Brom 2-1 up at Swansea. Sunderland 0-0 in their game at Preston. Blackburn trailing here 3-2, but they've got a long throw to defend here, which is going to be another one launched in by the Dutchman Fleming in towards the near post. Good little flick, and then some wrestling going on the edge of the 6-yard box, which involved Cooper claiming that he was fouled. The referee says no. Play continues. Pears with the ball in his hand, bowls it out quickly for Rankin Costello. Blackburn will try and get it forward. Brereton's got so much space on the left-hand side. If Blackburn get it across, a deep cross in towards his general direction, but not deep enough. McNamara gets his head to it. Mitchell gets his head of the rebound and helps it further away. And then that's come off Britton and gone out of play for a goal kick. Goal at Deepdale. Steve Hoversall.
Preston 0, Sunderland 1. The Sunderland fans have gone mad. Diallo with a beautiful strike from the edge of the box. Sunderland have been on top in this second half, and he's just unleashed a quality moment that there was nothing Freddie Woodman could do about it. The Sunderland fans are believing maybe, just maybe, there's a way back into this mix. Preston 0, Sunderland 1.
Wow. So the implications of that are that if either Millwall or Coventry concede, Sunderland now go into the top 6. At the moment they're 7th, but they have the advantage over West Brom in terms of goal difference of the sides hoping to capitalise on a failure by either Millwall or Coventry. The Sky Blues still dead level on Teesside. Graham Courtney.
It's Middlesbrough 1, Coventry 1, but the Borough much brighter in the second 45. Just seen an effort on goal. Weak header by Riley McGree. I could have saved it, but it was on target. Coventry on Talksport 2. Nip and tuck here. It's the Borough 1, Coventry 1.
Dead level there. Millwall leading by the odd goal in 5 here in a belting last game of the season. They've got a really good record at home on the last day. They haven't lost at home on the final day of the season this century. Millwall, Luton, the last team to beat them, that was back in 1999. And Luton might end up being Millwall's opponents in the playoffs. They've got to get there first. Dolan slipping inside the area. Rankin Costello trying to play it back. And then it's cleared by Cooper into the nearest Blackburn player. It's hit Hedges and gone out of play for a goal kick, which will be taken by Millwall. Another goal at St Andrews, Dave.
Birmingham 0, Sheffield United 2. 2 goals in 3 minutes. James McAtee with this one. Long ball over the top. It's St Ndiaye running free. Beat the back line. Squared across and swept in by McAtee. Birmingham 0, Sheffield United 2.
So Sheffield United leading by 2-0. Leaders Burnley 2 up as well in their game. They'll be on 101 points at the end of the season if it ends that way. Goal kick which will be taken by George Long in his second season since signing from Hull. Brereton playing it forward. He's off to Villarreal next season. He's signed his pre-contract. The Blackburn Rovers man who scored the winner in the last meeting of these two. It's actually his 50th game of this season, which he will end on the top of the Blackburn Rovers goal scoring charts. He's on 14 at the moment. 45 goals for the club all told. Now they could do with another couple here and a dramatic 4-3 win. Even then it wouldn't be enough with the other results as they stand at the moment. Ball cleared again by George Long. Another goal at Craven Cottage, Ollie Kling.
Fulham 4, Leicester 1. A tiny lifeline for the Foxes just before the hour mark. James Maddison had it inside the box. He laid it off to Harvey Barnes, who rifled it at goal. It came off the bar, bounced just over the line, and it gives them a tinge of hope in this game. Almost an hour gone. Fulham 4, Leicester 1.
Young Sam Bell's had a fantastic season for Bristol City. He scored again. They're 2 up at Queen's Park Rangers, and another goal at Turf Moor. Andy?
Burnley 3, Cardiff 0 after 57 minutes. Scott Twine with a free kick, beautifully taken just outside the penalty area. Goalkeeper had no chance. Burnley 3, Cardiff 0.
So Burnley going to be ending the season 3 goals and on 3 figures in terms of points. It's going to be so interesting to see how they go in the Premier League next season, which of course you'll be able to hear on Talksport. That goal for Harvey Barnes, incidentally, at Fulham, is 11th of the season for Leicester. Blackburn, Schmodix taking a free kick quickly after a foul on Hedges. It's 3-2 here to Millwall with half an hour of the season to go.
And there's a great sense of urgency, isn't there, from Rovers? Every time there's a ball goes out of play or a free kick, they spot it, they play. There's a real sharpness about their game. Schmodix has been really, really bright on the attack here, Rovers.
Pickering playing it down to Ben Brereton Diaz right in front of us on the Blackburn Rovers left. The shaggy-haired Chilean international down towards Pickering. Pickering's ball in. It's headed on, but away from Dolan. We had 2 or 3 players coming back as Rankin Costello got his head to it. Didn't know where his teammates were. Blackburn able to continue after what looked as though it might have been a foul in the midfield. That's certainly how those in the Dockers stand saw it. But then they would. Hyam. Down for Pickering. Pickering, who's at fault for the second Blackburn Rovers concession today. Back for Hyam again. Hyam to Carter. Carter playing it forward over halfway. You with Talksport. 16 gone second half. Millwall 3, Blackburn 2. Millwall in the playoffs if it stays this way. Blackburn have to win to give themselves a chance, but they would still need favours elsewhere. They need Sunderland and West Brom to fail to win, and both of them, as things stand, are leading. So Blackburn need a fair bit to drop their way if they're going to find a way through. Things going Millwall's way at the moment. Coventry in the playoffs as well as things stand. Wharton will play the ball down towards the Rovers left for Brereton. Brereton's ball towards the edge of the penalty area. Hedges trying to take it on. Brereton, right footed curler! It's 3 apiece! Wow, that is a goal that has massive implications for Millwall. 3-1 up at half-time. But they've let that lead slip. The Rovers fans are celebrating, sensing the unlikeliest of lifelines and salvage acts. Millwall heads in hands. It's 3-3.
Well, you've got to say this is brilliant from Ben Brereton Diaz, because the ball goes past him, but he follows his passing. Ball just breaks, edge of the box, and a beautiful right foot corner curler right into the corner. Fabulous finish from Ben Brereton Diaz. And we said Blackburn had done well, been keeping it well, had a real sense of urgency about their game, and they've got back in it.
So who would capitalise on that? Well, as things stand, it's Sunderland, Steve Hothersall.
Preston 0, Sunderland 2, and Sunderland are currently in the top 6. As it stands, the goal from the substitute Alex Pritchard. He delayed his shot, and then he placed it into the left corner of the net in front of 4,000 Sunderland fans who went absolutely delirious. Sunderland have somehow gate-crashed his top 6. Preston 0, Sunderland 2.
Well, I don't know how it isn't 4-3 to Blackburn Rovers as Brereton makes his way forward inside the penalty area. He drives an effort which beats long, hits the far post, comes back out for Dolan on the slide, and he's put it wide of the other post by about a foot.
Oh, agonisingly wide. I tell you, fantastic football again though from Blackburn Rovers. Smodic at the heart of it, feeds it down the left-hand channel, and there's Brereton Diaz out-muscled Danny McNamara, and it's almost a carbon copy of his goal. Trying to bend it around long, trying to curl it back in off the post, bounce back into Tyree Stolen. What is a couple of yards out, 3 yards out on the stretch. Agonising, so close to the bottom corner.
Now Bradshaw chipping inside the penalty area, and it's only just too long for the late arriving George Saville. Dolan down by his own corner flag wins a throw. This could end up anything. Millwall 3, Blackburn 3. Millwall down in 8th now with the results as they are. Blackburn still 9th. Sunderland, as Steve was saying, up to 6th. So with 25 minutes to go, it's Luton against Sunderland in the playoffs and Middlesbrough against Coventry. But if the last 20 minutes have told us anything, don't make plans. McNamara heading the ball high up in the air. And then a second time, brought down by Saville. Nodded on, picked up in the midfield by Wharton, sticks his foot in. Dolan to Brereton Diaz. Turn forward through the midfield again. All Blackburn can do is take care of business and hope that something drops their way elsewhere. 3-3 at the moment. They're on the front foot again. Hedges wins another corner.
Great football, brilliant football. You got to say, in the middle of the park, working it from left to right. Hedges flips it out wide to the right hand side, and actually they had an overload at the back post there. Better ball in. Rovers would have had a great chance, nonetheless. Kicking into their fans here, they've responded so well, and you got to say their football, some of it has been terrific.
Well, the game, if you're a neutral, has just been extraordinary. If you've got any skin in the game, then you can barely watch. 3-3. News of a goal at Swansea after this Blackburn corner, which is half cleared towards the edge of the penalty area. It'll be picked up by Wharton. Wharton bending it back in, and it's comfortably claimed. Which way's that goal gone? In South Wales, Lawrence Mora.
Swansea 2, West Brom 2. Baggies fans with their hands in their head as Oliver Ncham makes a little space for himself on the edge of the area on right foot, low and hard, drills it into the corner of the net. The Baggies look deflated. It's Swansea 2, West Brom 2.
Right, today when Fulham have been spot on in the Premier League, Leicester spot off. Folly Clink.
Yeah, Fulham 4, Leicester 1. How's your luck, Leicester City? They've missed a penalty. It was Vardy who was cleaned out by Leno inside the box. He dusted himself off. He was back on penalties, but Leno got down to his left-hand side to atone and make the save. It remains Fulham 4, Leicester 1.
And another goal at Deepdale, Steve Hoversall.
Preston 0, Sunderland 3. Sunderland in top gear, in full flow, in full belief. They are steamrolling Preston now, and it's Jack Clark who has got the third. There's no way back for North End, but Sunderland, no, there might just be gold at the end of the rainbow for them. They're going to the very end. Preston 0, Sunderland 3.
Well, it looks as though the situation has polarised somewhat. It's going to be Sunderland or Millwall. Millwall have to win, with Sunderland destined to win at Deepdale. Millwall have to win. Bradshaw firing it across the edge of the 6-yard box, and it goes wide. And of course Blackburn are in the situation that later this afternoon, it's too early to say now with still a quarter of the game to go, but they might be in a position, if this is still 3-3, they could concede a goal late on and they could choose who went into the playoffs, whether it would be Millwall, whether it would be Sunderland. The Lions on the front foot here. It's 3-3 with a quarter of the game remaining.
Well, if they're going to get another goal in this game, it looks like it's going to come from something like this, a counter or a corner, because at the minute, Blackburn Rovers dominating possession. You can hear the fans because one cross just got flashed across the area. Dion Fleming was not attacking it, and the frustration from the fans obviously know what's going on elsewhere, so need a good delivery here.
So Coventry and Sunderland in the last two playoff positions at the moment. Sunderland edging out Millwall on goal difference. In comes the corner towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's knocked away and then further cleared by Dolan, who cleverly spins it over his shoulder. Burke, who's equally quick, got back, stay goal side. Ball into the feet of Mitchell. Pressure applied on him by Schmodix, almost telling pressure. And then McNamara clears it. That hits Schmodix. Goes back to the goalkeeper, and Long whacks it upfield. 3 apiece. In a game that Millwall scored first, Blackburn equalised. Millwall went 3-1 up, and Blackburn got it back to 3-3, and then hit the post and should be 4-3 up. But 3 apiece to score, and it's a result that does neither of them any favours. They'll both miss out if it stays this way, with the other results as they are. Sunderland's goal difference is 13, Millwall's is 8. Millwall score here, they're back into the top 6, but they need to. They don't win this game, they're not going to be in the playoffs. They get a free kick here, won by Callum Stiles. It's a yard to the left-hand side of the penalty area.
Yeah, he done really well here, Stiles, because it was an awkward ball to control over the top, dropping over his shoulder. Terrific touch with his right foot, and it is so close to being inside the box. I mean, Stiles is protesting to the referee. Look, pointing at the edge of the area, the white line, but it's just the other side of it. So it is a free kick, almost in line with the 6-yard box, Jim, isn't it? I wonder what they got up their sleeve, because this would be the sort of thing perfect for a little cut back, something clever, something cute, or with the taller players you just think it in the area and hope the likes of Cooper and Hutchinson get on the end of it.
Well, this is a massive moment. And we've got news of another goal at Craven Cottage to come after this free kick. It's not a yard to the left-hand side of the area, it's a foot to the left-hand side of the penalty area.
Well, they've moved it again. He's moved it again, hasn't he? The referee's just going over to talk to Fleming. The referee moves it back a tiny bit. No, it's fine.
It is 5-1 Fulham, incidentally, but we'll get news of that 5th goal in a moment.
There's about, 10, 12 players in the 6-yard box, a yard off the goalkeeper.
Now referee Pawson blows his whistle and then just tells the two-man wall to retreat back to where it said. Schmodix and Dolan are in that wall.
Is he going to go for goal here? Is he just going to flash this across goal, Fleming? Probably looks like it the way he's addressing the ball.
He's not favoured by the fact that the angle's quite tight. He went in towards the near post rather than trying to ping it in towards the top right-hand corner. And so many back defending for Blackburn, they were able to get it away. It's Willian that's got that 5th Fulham goal, incidentally. Millwall work this forward. Blackburn should be able to clear. Get it down the left-hand touchline. Burton Diaz flicking it on. And it will be kept in. It'll just come back to him. He's laid it back for Hyam. Hyam to Pickering. Back for Burton Diaz again. And Blackburn will play out from the back. We'll get news of that 5th Fulham goal from Ollie Klink.
Fulham 5, Leicester 1. What a goal from Willian Jim, cutting in from the left, rifling a shot into the bottom right-hand corner. His 2nd of the game. This is an absolute rout. It's an embarrassment for Leicester. 71 minutes gone. Fulham 5, Leicester 1.
Well, their goal difference is better than everybody else down in the Premier League. The bottom 5, but it's not going to be for long. The way things are going, that could have massive implications. Ball is cleared, goes out of play off Pickering for a goal kick that'll be taken by George Long. You're listening to Millwall against Blackburn in the EFL Championship, live on Talksport with Carling. The UK's #1 lager, 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. Double change being made here by Millwall. Malone and Bury are the players that are coming on. Watmore is being replaced. And Ollie Burke as well is also coming on. Thank you, David. So Malone and Bury coming on for Burke and Watmore. 17 minutes to go. Millwall in a position at 3-3. They have to score to make the playoffs.
Yeah, and I was just having a little look at Berrington Diaz because he has put such a shift in. Great goal as well. He's off, isn't he? He's leaving the football club. But you go back to, was it Bournemouth and Ryan Fraser last game of the season? Refused to play or didn't play or whatever,
after COVID,
yeah, and you look at Ben Berrington Diaz and he's left everything out there for his team, although he's not going to be there next season, doing his damnedest.
One of the games that's of academic interest only in the Championship at Vicarage Road. Watford leads Stoke 1-0. Imran Louza has scored that goal as Watford look for just a 4th win in 19. Stoke without a win in 6 coming into today. To reiterate the situation at the moment, because Sunderland are winning 3-0 at Preston, they've climbed up into 6th in the playoff positions. A Millwall goal here would take them back above the Black Cats. It's down to those two, really. Who's going to make it? Coventry looking set fair as well, but if they were to concede, then things would shake up a bit as well. Here's George Saville. Saville towards the edge of the penalty area, rolling down the left-hand side of the penalty area. It's a decent ball in, half cleared, left-footed back in. Takes a deflection after the shot from Fleming. And Blackburn will be able to bring it away again with Ben Brereton Diaz. 16 to go, David Connolly, 3-3.
Yeah, 2 lefties coming on. So Scott Malone going over to the sort of left side area. Tyler Bury as well. He's going to be raiding down that side by the looks of it.
So the maths as things stand right now. Coventry 5th, Sunderland 6th, Millwall 7th. West Brom 8th and Blackburn 9th. Millwall score, they go into the top 6. If Coventry were to concede, then they would go down to 69 and they would have a worse goal difference than Sunderland, but a better one than Millwall. So Coventry know that if they concede, they're still going to be in the playoffs, but would be finishing 6th and would be playing Luton, and it would be Middlesbrough Sunderland in those playoffs. All ifs and buts. Coventry 1-1 at Middlesbrough at the moment. Sunderland 3-0 up at Preston. This one's 3-3. West Brom 2-2 at Swansea. Sammy Schmodix to his right for Rankin Costello, just trying to play the ball down the right-hand side of the penalty area for Callum Britton, who gets it from Bury when it looked as though it's going to be easy to clear it. Britton trying to stand it up towards Brereton Diaz, headed back across the base of goal. It's headed onto the underside of the bar and away. There's a magnificent clearance from Malone. Back it comes in from Pickering. Styles tries to clear it. Brereton Diaz picking it up again. Dancing down the left-hand side of the area, wins the corner. They've hit the bar. This could be about 7-5 to Blackburn.
Fantastic, though, again from Rovers. But the defending from Malone, absolutely brilliant. He knows his goalkeeper is beaten. The ball is dropping on the bar, just under it, and he heads it away. Terrific. Great clearance from the sub.
So another Blackburn Rovers corner.
They look a lot sharper, Jim, don't they, when they go forward, Rovers? They look really, really sharp. Smollett's been superb.
Wharton's going to take it. Didn't get the elevation that he wanted. He's taken a couple of touches on its way through. Last one off a Millwall player and out for another corner. We've got 14 minutes to go.
Well, Ben Brereton Diaz just bending over, bending his sort of leg, whether he's feeling something. As I say, he's put an awful lot of work in today. Whether he's feeling something or not, I'm sure John Thomas will be saying, just get on with it.
So in comes his latest corner from Wharton. More air underneath this one. It's headed in and then flicked. But Hedges couldn't quite get enough contact on it to divert it past Long. And the ball ends up in the hands of the goalkeeper. Blackburn creating all the good chances. A goal for them is irrelevant, really. A goal for Millwall is anything but. If Blackburn were to score, they would become one of three sides on 69 points. They would go up to 69 with, actually just with Sunderland. Millwall would fall below them, but Blackburn would be 7th. The ball is cleared and then chested on by Tyree Stolen up front for Blackburn Rovers. Returned by Cooper. Cooper playing it forward. Cooper's long left-footed delivery too high for Bradshaw. They're headed down, but Saville picking up the pieces. He's been slightly more advanced in this second half. Saville will turn on the edge of the penalty area, lay it back through the midfield for Mitchell. Mitchell driving on, takes it down towards the dead ball line, checks, back it goes for the blonde head, Saville. Saville towards the left-hand side of the penalty area. High ball swung in and headed wide by Fleming. We'll get an update from the Riverside. Graham Courtney.
Where it is still Middlesbrough 1, Coventry 1. Borough fans, well, enjoying a sunny afternoon on Teesside, but Coventry fans, well, they're an absolute bag of nerves. 3,000 have made the journey north, and every single one of them is standing. Commentary of this game on Talksport 2. Fascinating afternoon, isn't it? Middlesbrough 1, Coventry 1.
And an update from Swansea, Lawrence Mora.
Swansea 2, West Brom 2, 78 on the clock here, and John Swift has just missed not a sitter, but a really glorious opportunity, all thanks to Thomas Asante, who absolutely charged down the right-hand side. His cross into the box was perfect, 6 yards out, but Swift gets his touch wrong. The Baggies looking a little bit desperate as Swansea ping the ball around. 78 on the clock, Swansea 2, West Brom 2.
Ball out of play for a goal kick here, 12 to go. Millwall need to score. It's 3-3 with Blackburn.
Yeah, and I just wonder how long you leave this. If you're Gary Rowett, how long do you leave it before you go, you know what, Jake Cooper, get up top, we're just going to play route one and just try and make something happen, cause a bit of havoc, play direct and just see if we can disrupt something. You know, they haven't got long, 12 minutes here, they don't look like scoring in normal play at the minute, Millwall. They're sort of passing possession in the final third, it just keeps breaking down. Maybe I'll chuck a centre-half up top.
Watford have got a second, 2 and 4 minutes for them. Imran Luz with the first, Keenan Davis with the second. Watford 2, Stoke 0. They're just playing to finesse mid-table positions, those two. Blackburn will be able to bring it forward. Schmodix making a run towards the edge of the penalty area. A little layout from him. He perhaps had more time to bring it under control and go for goal himself. Millwall can bring it away. Styles to Saville. Saville down towards Bradshaw, whose heavy, tired touch let him down. And Hyam was first to capitalise on that. Now Rankin Costello goes out to the Blackburn right-hand side for Dolan. Brereton making his way forward. Schmodix unmarked on the edge of the penalty area. Pull back for Rankin Costello instead. Now towards Schmodix, a ball intended for Brereton Diaz. Schmodix intercepted it, not knowing where his teammate was. And as he tried to play it down to him, he missed him. And he goes out of play for a goal kick. It's 3-3 Millwall need to score. I know that Gary Rowett has got a member of staff who's watching the feeds of all the games and is keeping them abreast of exactly what the situation is elsewhere. They know that Sunderland 3 up at Preston. It's all academic. They know they're going to win that. So Millwall know that they have to win this, and they've got 10 minutes in which to do it.
It looks like they're maybe going to call for Volshammer. He's the one that might get the nod. That is a that looked like a handball, not given.
Craig Pawson is indicating the top of the shoulder, which looks a little bit generous. 9.5 to go. Millwall 3, Blackburn Rovers 3 on Talksport. Nottingham Forest against Southampton, a big game at the bottom of the Premier League to come later. Kicks off at 8 on Talksport. Here's Saville for Millwall, right hand side of the penalty area. Bradshaw waiting in the middle. It's pulled back for Fleming. Fleming, left-footed shot, just dribbles across the face of goal and wide. And it goes out of play for a goal kick. Goal kick taken quickly. Blackburn still really game. I don't know whether they don't know what the other results are.
No, but that's the beauty of it, right? They're obviously thinking we need a victory. Brilliant.
They're giving everything they can to push forward for the victory, but even if they went 4-3 up, it would only be pride that was restored. It wouldn't be a top 6 place. Last season there were 6 going into the final 6 games. They finished 8th. 6 going into the final 6 games this time around. They're currently 9th. More changes being made. Bradshaw has come off, and they're going to bring on Bennett and Volshammer. So those are the changes that are being made. Double change for Millwall. Now we're seeing Bennett come on. Mason Bennett, the only Millwall player to score a winner against Blackburn for 11 years. He's played 229 games in his career, David. How many lots of full 90 minutes do you think he's played?
I don't... How many? That many? Wow.
229 games and 4 lots of full 90 minutes. He's come on as an impact sub here. Leicester have scored a penalty this time at Fulham. 5-2 down. James Maddison from the spot. Birmingham have one back at home with Sheffield United through Dion Sanderson.
Well, they've got this long throw now, Jim. If ever you're going to dry a ball as best you can with the ball boy, this is it.
Fleming in towards the near post. Bennett trying to flick it on edge of the 6-yard box. Looks as though there's a little shove in there. Left-footed effort through a crowd of players. Might break somebody's way. Didn't fall for Styles, and eventually is cleared from the edge of his own penalty area by Pickering. And out of play for a throw that will be taken on the Millwall right-hand side by McNamara.
Yeah, and Ben Berrington there just saying to his teammate, just settle down, because if they had a little bit of composure there to get out, Rovers were in.
Millwall must score. As things stand, they've got 7 minutes to do it. They were 3-1 up at half-time in this game. A game where they know that a win would see them finish in the top 6. But they've blown that lead. They're lucky to still be on level terms. Got more defending to do now. Millwall on the left flank with Scott Malone. As he taps it forward, Bury wins a free kick, but it's much nearer the edge of their own penalty area than halfway. They've got to try and get things forward, moving forward quickly here, Millwall. Remember, they score, and it will break potentially Sunderland's heart. Sunderland's 6th at the moment. They've done their job this afternoon, but they don't just need a win, they need a win and a favour. Blackburn at the moment able to provide that favour. Millwall score a winner, then they climb above Sunderland and make it. 6 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Millwall have the ball on the left flank with Bury. Bury, left-hand side of the penalty area now, diving inside the penalty area. Low skidding shot, wasn't nearly as good as the run that had preceded it. It's cleared out as far as Mitchell, too much on his ball in, and they have McNamara free on the right-hand side of the penalty area, and it's caught by Pears, and he'll bowl it out quickly for Wharton. Wharton down towards the Blackburn Rovers left. Schmoddick's making his way forward. Schmoddick's 10 yards outside the penalty area. Out on the right-hand side of the box, Dolan taking it on, winning a corner.
Yeah, good play. Good play again from Rovers. Millwall have the attack. Really disappointing ball in from Billy Mitchell, straight into the arms of the goalkeeper, who just sets Rovers on the attack. And as I say, if I was Gary Rowett, I think I would have chucked Jake Cooper up top about 10 minutes ago and just played direct, hit and hope. Really go for it.
Well, sometimes even from goal kicks they'll move Cooper forward so that he can try and flick it on for the likes of Bradshaw, who's now departed. Corner to be taken by Blackburn. 3-3 the score. In towards Brereton Diaz. His ball towards the edge of the penalty area, flicked on and volleyed away. In the nick of time by Fleming, who is back defending. Then Hyam will turn it back.
Well, that's the fans, because what the fans want is someone up top. They don't want to drag everyone back, so when they clear it, they can actually keep it.
Volsham going up for it. He's headed it, and it's taken a deflection, goes out of play for a throw, will be taken on the Millwall right. No further goals to tell you about in the Premier League. Fulham leading Leicester 5-2. The games that matter in the Championship, this one 3-3. Sunderland, though, 3-up at Preston. Those are the two important scorelines. Bury for Millwall inside the penalty area. Great injection of pace. Across the base of the 6-yard box. Keeper palms it out, but to safety. Found a red shirt, not one in dark blue. And now Brereton Diaz labouring, tiring, but making his way forward. 40 yards, 50 yards, flicked out towards the right-hand side of the area for Schmonix. Schmonix driving it in. Brereton Diaz, 4-3 Blackburn. With 4 minutes to go. They're in a position that they're now dependent on other results. And that, surely is that for Millwall. 3-1 up at half-time. A playoff place theirs to be had, and they have blown it.
Yeah, well, Millwall gone for broke, and then Brereton Diaz has broke their hearts. I mean, he's been sensational. He has been absolutely superb today, you've got to say. They obviously defend a counter-attack, one attack in their area. Blackburn distribute really quickly to Brereton Diaz. He gallops up the pitch. Fantastic. Squares the ball across in the middle of the park. They feed it out wide to the right. Fantastic low ball in. And there's Brereton Diaz unmarked at the back post just to side foot into an empty net. You've got to say he has been superb today. Absolutely superb. And the football they played second half, Blackburn, has been brilliant.
Millwall have thrown it away, and that's music to the ears of Sunderland fans at Preston. Steve Hothersall.
Well, the news filtered through here very quickly indeed. Those Sunderland fans all of a sudden went from a quiet calm to delirium as they heard of that goal, and believed even more so, Mickey Gray, of their team's possibilities.
Well, honestly, it's unbelievable. I can't tell you what this atmosphere is like in this stadium. We're looking to our left-hand side at Deepdale. It's just packed with Sunderland supporters, and as that news came through, there's a big cheer. All the chants started. It's been absolutely incredible. What a game of football. Absolutely loved it. What a day the Championship's been. But for those Sunderland supporters, incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Unbelievable second half. Preston North End completely outfought Sunderland in the first 45, but Sunderland put on a show in the opening 20 minutes of the second half. Took the game away from Preston. Believed, I think, is the crucial word. Believed in themselves. And Tony Mowbray has masterminded something amazing. Preston 0, Sunderland 3.
A corner to Millwall. The situation that they're in, they've got 2 minutes plus stoppage time, and they need to score 2. Blackburn, even though they're now above Millwall in the table and winning this game, won't get into the playoffs unless Sunderland lose that game, and they're currently 3-0 up. You can't see that happening. So of these two, even though Blackburn are winning, Millwall's still the more likely to make it through. Brereton Diaz comes off. He scored twice. Almost certainly his last goal's for Blackburn. He gets a big ovation from the travelling Rovers support. Ayala, a centre-half, has come on for Blackburn for the closing stages. 2 goals for Millwall, and they will make it, but they need 2, and they've got next to no time to find them. Millwall 3, Blackburn 4. One of the most extraordinary days on the end of the season that you could ever wish to see. Schmonix for Blackburn Rovers, picking the ball up on the right-hand side of the midfield and turning it back for Dom Hyam. I'll tell you something, Real Madrid against Manchester City's got a bit to live up to tomorrow. We'll be there now at the Bernabeu tomorrow night. Build up from 7 and an 8 o'clock kickoff. First leg of that Champions League semi-final. Manchester City going for the treble. And we'll find out how it goes for them together tomorrow night here on Talksport. 30 seconds of normal time remaining in this. Millwall have conceded a throw which will be taken over on the Blackburn Rovers right-hand side. That's the goal difference at the moment. Sunderland on 69 in the playoffs with a goal difference of plus 13. Blackburn just behind them level on points, but a goal difference of -2. So there's no chance that swing can come round Blackburn's way. And it is to the frustration of Blackburn, frustration of Blackburn Rovers supporters. It's Preston's inability to do them a favour that is going to cost them. We're going to stoppage time here. It's 4-3 Blackburn, and Coventry and Sunderland are the teams that are going to be making the playoffs.
Yeah, and with that change, I'm sure Millwall will be breathing a sigh of relief. Brereton Diaz is off, but Ayala's come on. They look like they've changed to a back three, so it's even harder, I think, for Millwall to break them down. Resorting to route one, and that is why I would put Jay Cooper. I would have put him up top, not long after half-time. And certainly now going direct. I mean, they're one of the smallest front units, Millwall. They haven't got a cat and hell's chance of winning a flick on.
4-3 the scoreline, 5-3 the scoreline at Craven Cottage, where Harvey Barnes has pulled another one back. They were 5-1 down in that game, Leicester, but it's back to 5-3. Blackburn are going to be bringing Bradley Dack on for the last few moments. He's scored 4 goals in 8 games against Millwall in his career, including a goal in his last visit. He's been sent off here in the past as well, and he'll come on for Sammy Schmodix for the time that remains. While they make the change, we'll get a very quick update from Deepdale, Steve.
Same Preston 0, Sunderland 3. We're just waiting for the added time to come up. The official on the far side's just programming the board, but this game's done and dusted. The rain's falling heavily, but that's not dampening the party that the Sunderland fans are having. Preston 0, Sunderland 3.
The change made here as elsewhere Huddersfield lead Reading by 2-0, with Joseph Hungbo has scored the second for Neil Warnock's men. He's going to end his Huddersfield spell with 6 wins in his last 9 games and safety. The safety was guaranteed. Reading going down, and going down on the back of the 13-game winless run. 4 minutes of stoppage time, and we're 2 minutes into it. Couple of minutes to go. Millwall need to get it forward long as quickly as they can. Just slam forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Now Cooper and Hutchinson are for. Cooper are trying to guard it on, flicked over the top. Millwall, remember, need to score twice in the 2 minutes of stoppage time that remain. They've got an opportunity right-hand side of the penalty area. They win the corner. And let's get a very quick update from Middlesbrough, Graham.
No change here, Jim. Middlesbrough 1, Coventry 1. Both of these sides, they'll be in the playoffs. We're just in the last knockings here. Borough 1, Coventry 1.
And playing each other as things stand. George Long's making his way forward. Millwall have got 90 seconds. They need to score 2. In comes the corner from the right-hand side. Edge of the 6-yard box, half cleared. Long will try and sprint back and get back in position. The loose ball goes out towards McNamara on the left-hand side. And now Millwall will bring it forward with Mitchell. Mitchell down towards the corner flag. That's blocked, goes out of play for a throw. A throw which will be taken on the Millwall left. Mitchell launching it long inside the penalty area. They didn't have time to get Fleming over there to take it. It's half cleared. Swansea 3, West Brom 2. Down at South Wales, Joel Peru scoring again in stoppage time. West Brom, hopeful of a playoff place at the start of the day, aren't going to get it. Ball on the left-hand side of the penalty area. Millwall needs something extraordinarily dramatic late on. Helped inside the box. Blackburn can clear it with Dolan. High clearance from him. Brought down by Volsammer in the midfield. We played 3.5 minutes of stoppage time. It's not going to be happening for Millwall or for Blackburn, but they have stopped the Lions' charge towards a playoff place with a 4-3 come from behind win here. Hutchinson down for Mason Bennett. Bennett under pressure from Dolan. Will take it towards the left-hand side of the penalty area. Can't bamboozle and bulldoze his way through. Blackburn clear again. Wharton takes it towards the edge of his own box for a moment, then slams it upfield. There is no outball for them, but it's forced Millwall back inside their own half. It takes 10 seconds off it, and that's the end of the game. And the boos emanate around the den because Millwall have blown it spectacularly in the final 45 minutes of their season. They led 3-1 at half-time in a game they knew a victory would be enough. But they conceded to Rankin Costello and then twice to Ben Brereton. And the 3-1 lead became a 4-3 defeat. It's a Pyrrhic victory for Blackburn. They don't make the playoffs either. But Millwall will be sitting and scratching their heads about this for a long time. Millwall end the season 8th. They've been beaten 4-3.
Millwall absolutely fuming. The players cannot believe it. So let's get to deep down.